Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. Okay, I'm Brian Bates, as always. Dusty
Slay,
Aaron Weber, and sitting in for Nate, the lovely Reno Collier.
Dang, lovely. Right on.
I just wanted to know.
I never hear that.
I've always felt that way.
I've never heard him say that
buddy.
about anyone.
Well, I've never felt it till right now.
Yeah.
You don't strike me as a guy, Reno, when the host asks you, what should I say about you? You don't give them a whole lot, do you?
No.
You just say, just bring me out there, I'll do my thing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They don't know anyway.
And then you come out to Isn't She Lovely by, gosh, I can't think of it.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder, yeah. Yeah, I don't get into the long, I don't want him to have too much of a expectation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Brian Dorfman told me one time, he goes, dude, you have more credits than seats you can sell. Yeah, so I'm like, just say my name. Let's go. Let's end it. And it was one of those times where it's like he was kidding, but at the same time, I was kind of like, he's really not that far off.
Rooted in
the
truth.
host is reading off the credits on stage. The audience is going, who is this?
Yeah. Who are we about to see?
Yeah. Well, especially even if they know who I am, I don't look the same as I did.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been a minute.
I wanted to talk about that because Nate gets a lot of credit. People mention it all the time. The glow up, they call it, how he looks now versus how he used to look. But I think because I met you at how you look now, but I knew of you when you used to. I
remember
I don't know the
Comedy
polite
Central.
way of saying this.
Yeah.
You look great. You look great now, is what I'm trying to say.
Talking about washing with a shampoo bottle. I remember
that's old school.
Yeah, I remember that.
I ran into a little alcohol problem that kind of blew me up like I got stung by bees, and I had no neck. I just had like my head. There you go. Like
so this is the Reno that I knew before I met you. And it's hard to, it doesn't even look like the same guy now.
Who is the girl you said you look like off a TV show?
Natalie from The Facts of Life.
Yeah.
I did, dude. Well, there was like Marsha Brady was at that roast, and there were all these people, and no one knew who I was, and I was like, I'm just going to.
Larry the Cable Guy roast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And good God, dude. I was doughy. Really doughy.
You look like a good time, though.
Oh, I was a blast. Man. I don't remember any of it, but I was freaking fun. People told me all the time on my apology tour the next morning, walking around going, did I do anything to you? Did I say anything to you? You were so much fun. Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Except with me, they were like, yeah, you did.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. The thing is, when you look like the Gerber baby, people don't get real mad at you. They're like, he just wants some mushy peas. Look at him. He's okay. He didn't mean it, did he?
I don't know the Reno Collier catalog that well, but back in the day, when you were a little bit bigger, and such a lovable, it was a little Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Like, just this guy's goofy, he's funny. You had this joke about I can't really give the punchline because this is a clean podcast, but it was so funny about your softball team was terrible. So
yeah, the church softball team.
Yeah,
that was a true thing.
And
too.
You wanted to call your team off constantly.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a funny joke.
Dude, look at that.
Wow.
I look like I drive a Subaru and have a freaking kayak on top of it.
You look like Peter Griffin a little bit.
I do. That's what Cable Guy, he goes, if they ever do especially with glasses on, he goes, if they ever do a live action, it would make me so mad. He'd be watching that show and Peter Griffin would come on and like he was chasing a chicken and he kept rewinding like, look at Reno. Look at him. I did, dude. I was so hungry. And it looks like I don't have any teeth.
Not bottom teeth.
No, the bottom teeth were gone.
It's dipping.
I didn't.
It'll do that, man.
I have no teeth, and but apparently somebody did my hair before that because that's some.
Yeah.
What is this from?
The hair looks good there.
That's from Blue Collar Next Generation. That is a good head of hair. Now it's not there anymore, but yeah, that was a good head of hair. On top of that. Meatball. I loved it though.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
The drinking?
Well, that was really fun until it just wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was great, man.
Yeah.
If you can do it right, it's really a good time.
That's what I always say. If you can, I'm jealous of people that can do it right.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't either. I can't either. If I could just do a little bit of anything, I'd be a much better human being.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Most
it's
comics
anything.
can't.
No. And I quit drinking, but now I'll eat a whole pizza. Like I can't have a piece of anything. It's like if one's good, 10's better. And let's go. And then
Like an oven pizza, frozen pizza. You eat a whole, yeah.
oh, that's small time.
Demolish those.
Oh,
Yeah,
me
you
too.
plan to eat one of those.
Yeah. And then I think
it's
if I
thin
get,
crust.
Yeah,
this is just a flatbread.
yeah.
That's 6 feet by 4 feet. Yeah.
I remember at Aaron's wedding, we were sitting at the same table, and you played a joke on your wife that we all quickly got in on, telling her that a guy at another table was one of the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. I'm bored. I don't drink.
Yeah.
And he turned to me and he was like,
Sorry, my wedding was boring.
Yeah.
No, it's great. No, dude, I'm boring now.
I
No,
know. I'm
it was
kidding. I'm
great, man.
But it was so funny. You turned to me, he's like, Brian, tell her. And I'm like, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
He had a jacket like Nate wears that's, not from around here.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Oh, I see how it works. When Nate's not here, we have a good time.
Yeah, he had a jacket on.
I
that
love how
forgot
you
where it
put
came
that, though.
from.
A jacket that's not from around here.
yeah.
From here.
Straight from Hollywood.
That's great.
So anyway, yeah, that was fun. I have a story about you in my act that I tell sometimes.
Who was the guy
Oh my
that you were
gosh.
trying to convince everybody? Like my uncle or something? Who was it? Just a random
He had
guy?
like a shiny.
It was Eddie Cisneros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, she.
Eddie would have probably went along with it.
He
Yeah.
would have done it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I told him later, and he
Yeah.
thought it was hilarious.
My wife gets starstruck, and there were, she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much fun." I'm like, "You're not kidding, man. One of the Backstreet Boys is here."
Yeah.
She's like, "What?" And I go, "Don't talk to him. Like, don't say anything because he doesn't want anybody to bother him." She's like, "Which one is he?" I'm like, "That you know who it is, right there." I had no idea.
Yeah.
I couldn't name a Backstreet Boy with a gun to my head, but for that day, your boy was.
It was kind of perfect. His back was to us, so you couldn't get a good view of him. And I mean, she was playing along.
Yeah, she didn't know she was, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. You had a great wedding, man.
Thanks, man.
It had a lot of.
It
feel
was a
to
great
it.
wedding.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
It was
fun.
nice.
Well, no, I was going to say, because I played in a Soldier's Child golf tournament
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about. This was hysterical.
3 times. You played in it once.
I did.
think.
Yeah.
And then, I haven't done it the last couple of years because it's always on Mondays, and that's when we do the podcast. But
Right.
I had a couple of incidents happen there. The first year I played, we were winning, and it was my first time there. I was nervous.
Were you contributing to the
No,
win? Okay.
no.
It was just a good group. You
I
got
just
paired
got
with?
matched up with a great group, and
Okay.
we're dominating,
Yeah.
and we're gonna win. And I go in. I've never been there before, and the director, I can't think of his name, but
Daryl Mackin.
he pulls me aside. He's like, "Can I have a word with you?" And takes me into another room.
Wow.
And
Dude,
he's-
this is awesome.
And he's like, it's I've been told that your team. Well, I got accused of a couple of things. One, picking up the ball like
Poor Brian.
Yeah.
like cheating, basically. Like like
You of all people, the guy.
he wasn't accusing me directly,
Okay.
but he knew like this guy's not with these guys. So if anybody will
No,
tell.
Brian didn't
He had
do
some
anything.
snitch energy.
So
Yeah.
it's
That's my guy.
Yeah.
so it's a best ball scramble, right?
Yeah.
The way it works. So everybody hits, and then whoever has the best shot, everybody else shoots from that place.
And
Okay.
everybody gets a celebrity on their team, and Brian was a celebrity on
Yeah.
that team.
Okay.
But the group that he was with, first of all, this is an organization called it's not my golf tournament. I host it, but it's for a group called a Soldier's Child.
You're the heart of it, though.
I
dude.
tried
You
it. Well, I'm proud of it. What was
Yeah.
weird was back in those days, like when I was on TV and stuff all the time, I did it out of ego. Like I was like, well, Cable Guy's got a golf tournament, and I want a golf tournament, and,
Right.
and I'd just go and get hammered, and there's everything for it. When I sobered up, I realized what a beautiful organization it is. What we do is any kid that's lost their parent that's in the military from however, it started off with guys overseas, and then it's grown into guys have trouble when they come back home and the kids are left. So we put on a birthday party for them through their 18th birthday in honor of their parent. And there are summer camps where a lot of our kids now who started out as little kids going to the camps are now the counselors.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if you lose a parent and you're sitting in a classroom, nobody knows what you're going through, but these kids are on the same boat, and we try to get them to open up and laugh and all that stuff. So this golf tournament is for that, right? So you're thinking about this. This is to raise money. Now, Brian, go ahead and tell him what happened.
All right. So he keeps asking me, did you guys do this, do that? And we literally, to my knowledge, did not do that. We didn't do anything that I saw that was illegal. But I'm trying to give him something because he keeps, and I said, we took mulligans, and he's like, what? No, you can't do a mulligan.
Yeah.
And we somehow we got in our head. I didn't know every guy in the scramble, which was 5 of us, gets one mulligan, and we took full advantage of it.
And they shot like par is 72. They shot like a 51.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who cheats? We're raising money for these kids. And poor Brian Brian has been so loyal. Like he would come, and then another time you got there and they messed up your team or something.
Yes.
And they had to drive him in a cart, and Brian's standing out in the middle of the course, like waving at me, like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, the poor guy, like, does everything he can to get to this thing. Then he gets on a team with a bunch of dudes. We shot a 51. We win the grills. And it's like, we're not here for you, moron. There are kids that were raised. Who cheats in something like that? That's like stealing out of the plate at church. Like,
so what do you get by winning? You
win. So people will donate like grills or chainsaws.
There's like really cool prizes.
Yeah, the prizes are really cool.
And it's the glory of winning.
But first prize is a grill. What's second prize?
The second prize is pretty good. By the time you get the third prize, it's a lot of booze and which was one year. I don't know why I'm making fun of these guys for cheating. I was handing out the winners and everything, and somebody won a bottle of Jack, and I opened it up and slugged a quarter of it in front of everybody. And I get done, and I was trying to, amp everybody up for the auction. And Dale's like, the auction was over an hour ago. I'm like, oh, well, can somebody drive me home?
So then another year, I forgot about getting because you start off shotgun start. They're like, everyone, your hole is 14 or whatever.
Right. They stagger everybody.
And everyone go to your hole. So I'm driving out there.
I just love the idea of cool alcohol things to you that are cool, but to no one else.
No one else. No, I literally took it out of her basket.
You're like, I'm about to slam half of this. Everybody else is like, this guy has issues.
Because in your head, they're like, this is going to look so awesome.
Yeah. In my head, I'm like, man, these guys know who I am. I'm going to throw down. You want to party? I will show you how to party. And
they're like, take the kids to the car.
And it was in a basket with like plastic over, and I just muffled through it. I'm like,
Recently, I had to pick up some body care stuff, but the scents are all so boring. Isn't that a real problem?
Oh, yeah.
Men's products need more variety. It's the same stuff, the same bland smells. Once I smelled Cremo, though, I knew I had to make the switch. Cremo is on the next level. You deserve freedom from sweat and stink. Cremo's deodorant is designed to provide men with 48-hour odor protection.
Wow.
Cremo products are all barber grade and made barber grade.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That's top of the line.
Yeah, barber grade and made with pride, professionalism, and passion to guarantee you quality without compromise. Elevate your deodorant experience with Cremo's 2 latest signature scents, Italian Bergamot. It's Italian, though.
Yeah.
It's a bright, fresh, robust scent showcasing notes of bergamot, neroli blossom. I mean, this is how nice this stuff is. I can't say half the words.
Yeah, it's so good.
Also got Palo Santo. It's a deep, smoky, refined.
Deep and smoky. That's
scent
how I smell.
Featuring
all the
notes
time.
of Palo Santo. You don't smell like this, trust me. With
Come
bright
on.
cardamom and dry papyrus.
That's me in a bottle.
I gave the deodorant a try. I've never been a cologne guy, but I got some of their cologne. I've been throwing that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people like it.
People like it?
I like it.
People never like me in cologne.
Well, you haven't tried Crema.
And that is right.
Man, you got to check it out. It's just good stuff. Let's face it. We deserve grooming products from a company with high standards, and that's what Cremo does, and that's what they have. Head to Target or Target.com to find Cremo's new line of antiperspirants and deodorants in the Italian Bergamot and Palo Santo scents. Once again, that's Target or Target.com.
There's so many things that when I look back at my life and I go, I should not have been allowed to do that. Like I shouldn't have been. The first time, like with Cable Guy, his first arena show, we're in Raleigh. There's like 18,000 people. right? Packed out. He's like so excited. I'm out in the parking lot getting drunk with some politician I'm arguing with. I don't even know who he was. And they go, Reno, you got to come in, right? You're going up. And I'm like, yeah. I go up. I do 20 minutes and I go, thank you, good night. And I walk off stage and I'm high-fiving. I'm like, dude, I killed. And cable guy looks at me and goes, you didn't bring me up. Like I did, like it was my show. I did 20 minutes to open the show. I walk off. I never introduced him.
Thank you guys. Drive safe.
That was it. $150 for my 20 minutes. I'm out. And he never fired me.
Yeah.
I'm going back out with him. I mean, he should have fired me every day.
What did you do in that?
Yes, he should.
In that instance, what did you do? Did you go back up?
No.
He just walked out.
They started playing Jerry Reed, and then he went up and
he
thought it was funny afterwards. Thank God. But there's not another comedian that I know of that would not have. I mean, he was nervous. His first ever arena show. He's freaking out. He can't find me, first of all, because I'm out there like, you don't know taxes. I'll tell you taxes. I don't even know what I'm. It's just a mess.
All right, so cable guy, you.
By the way, I keep talking about. I have so much flannel in my fingernails from riding that dude's coattails. That's every movie I'm in. It's like, hey, who else was in it? Larry the Cable Guy. What about that other one? Larry the Cable Guy. What, really? What about that road? Larry the Cable Guy. Like it's like I want to say somebody else, but I got nothing.
That's how you got on this podcast.
I know
reached
it
out.
It is.
You
made a call.
You ripped the sleeves off.
I was gonna go out there with no shirt and just flannel sleeves, just dangling off.
That would be great.
Well, they're laying on the bus, you know.
But I'm glad you brought him up because the next story.
All right, yeah. So
the next story that
I remember driving to the tournament this time, and I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, I wonder if Larry the Cable Guy will be there today. I mean, it seems like it was a pretty good assumption based on your career, but he had never been there the previous year, so I don't know why this time I was thinking, I bet he's going to be out there. And we get out there, and we're waiting to tee off, and it's always a little slow at first because everyone's kind of backed up. And I see a guy over there. I'm like, there's Larry the Cable Guy. And I'm like, I'm going to go talk to him. And I went over and I started talking to him. And
This was so funny.
he's got a sunglass on his hat. And I mean, he could not have been nicer. I'm like, this dude is so down to earth and he's great. He acted like we were old friends, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's the best. And I was about to name drop Nate, as I tend to do every time I meet a celebrity. Before I could, he was like, man, I'd love to meet Nate
I have
sometime.
flannel in my fingernails. You have jackets that aren't from here in your fingernails.
Exactly. And he's like, I'd love to meet Nate. And I was like, y'all never met? He was like, no. And I'm like, man, you should come on our podcast. Let me give you Nate's number. And I'm thinking, this is great, man. And then we keep talking. I'm like, I don't know if this is Larry the Cable Guy. I think this might just be a fan. And I keep asking him questions, you know, to try to figure out if it's him or not. And I'm like, I've given him all of Nate's personal information. And
Oh, it gets better.
I avoided the guy the rest of the day because I'm like, I'll give him Nate's social security number if I'm not careful. You know, like I got to stop. So I just skipped the soldier's child. Sorry, kids. I'm out of here.
Dude, first of all, in between all that, Cletus comes over to me and goes, man, I'm going on Nateland's podcast. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, I just talked to Brian. He invited me to come on. He goes, I'm so glad I came up here. I'm like, well, I'm glad you did too. And
all right, so it ended up being Cletus T. Judd.
Yeah.
Who's a very funny comedian who acted like we're old friends because we are. Devoke anything alike? No. But
I don't know. There's a little something.
I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it was.
I don't think he was dressed like this. That
he had
day,
on
was it?
like Oakley sunglasses.
Right. It's not like it was Arsenio Hall or something. I mean, it was.
It looks like Larry the Cable Guy if he became a hairdresser. Larry the Cutter Guy. Man, Cletus was so excited. He's like, man, this is going to be awesome. I was like, that's great, dude. That's why you come to things like this. You never know who you're going to meet. I mean, it just kind of... Cletus is one of the sweetest dudes, though. Yeah. And when he found out about it, he's like, man, he thought I was Larry the Cable Guy.
Well, we got to have him on.
We should have him on.
We should, yeah.
Did he have Judd on his hat like in these pictures when you met him?
Brian's like, I like Winona too. I don't.
Who's your favorite, Winona or Naomi? I like Ashley myself.
It's like a David Cross, Larry the Cable Guy combo.
Yeah, which would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that's what people say you are.
Yeah, probably. Did you say it looked like
Was
David
it fun
Cross?
to levy that against somebody else?
Yes.
For a change?
It was. Yeah, it was.
He looks like Walmart Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was wearing. That's him like, hey.
Get her done. Oh my
I'm surprised I didn't say that to him.
Dude, that Brian, that was so freaking
Dude, if you hit him with a get her done.
Get her done. He's like, what?
He's like, hit him straight. I'm like, get her done.
Did you revealed to him that day that you thought he was Larry the Cable
No,
Guy?
I didn't know till I got home that night and I texted Reno. I was like, hey, who is the celebrity in the group in front of us? And he was like, it's Cletus T. Judd, you idiot. I'm like, oh, never mind.
I mean, I remember you telling that story, but that's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, I called Nate immediately on
Yeah.
the course and said, hey, are you friends with Larry the Cable Guy? He's like, oh, yeah, good friends. I was like, oh, boy. And I told him what happened. He was like, you couldn't recognize one of the most recognizable faces in all stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, apparently not.
I just met Larry the Cable Guy. He's got this great song he sings like Shania Twain. It's the most amazing thing you've ever heard. Dude, Cletus honestly is one of the sweetest guys. Like he really is a good dude, and he wasn't mad at you or anything. It was just so funny because, like people get excited about anything with Nate, and you guys, it's like, oh man, this is going to be freaking awesome. And then, I really enjoyed.
Well, I mean, Cletus is such a much bigger deal than me that if anybody should be getting something mixed up, it should have been him about me.
No, dude.
But
he's look straight out of retirement. I love him, dude. He was at my house. He stays at my house like for the thing. And Tom Mabe, Tom Mabe.
Yeah.
So Tom stayed at my house too because they're from out of town. So they're both there. Tom is OCD. Like my wife loves when he comes to the house because he fixes all the pictures. He straightens everything and he walks around. But he's like Elf. Like he doesn't go to bed. Like it was like time to go to bed. And I'm like, all right, good night, Tom. He's like, all right, good night. I go in my bedroom. I come out like 8 hours later. He's in the same clothes, sitting in the same chair. Like, hey man, what's going on? And I'm like, do you sleep, dude? He's all over the place. So at one point, my wife makes fun of us because she says anytime comics get in our house, we all get into this like one-up thing. Well, I'll tell you a story and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So it's just flying around the whole night. And Tom starts telling these stories about Kato Kalin and he's friends with, it was just bizarre. And so out of nowhere, Cletus walks over to my wife and goes, I want to be honest about Tom. I don't think we can help him.
I don't know Tom, I don't think.
He's
out of Cincinnati,
Louisville.
Yeah.
He is the original prank guy. He had the stuff he does to people. I don't know how he's still alive. Like I love him, but he goes downtown Louisville and then we'll sit in a bus, like where the bus stop is. And he has his phone beside him and he acts like he's asleep and people walk by and they see it and then they wait until he's not paying attention. They try to steal it and they start running away and it's a taser. He freaking lights them up. like stuff. He bought a horse and buggy, like went out and bought it, got a horse and dressed up like he was Amish and was riding it through people's neighborhoods with a map, like with a Domino's pizza delivery thing on top of it. Like there's something off. Where
you have to be able to do that stuff.
Yeah. One of his best known pranks involved convincing a telemarketer that he had inadvertently called the scene of a homicide.
Dude, that's one of the funniest phone calls I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I got to listen to this.
It's hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he has no fear. Like I don't have that. Like I don't want to get punched in the face. Like I don't. But he just doesn't.
I hate a prank. Yeah. I don't mind watching it necessarily, but I don't want to be in. Like if I had been at your table and you were trying to prank your wife about, I can't do it. I can't be in.
You couldn't have lied to her face.
No, I can't do it.
Well, nobody would check with you about the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, that's true.
If they said he was in the Oak Ridge Boys, they would ask you about it.
Hey, Dusty, do you have that Backstreet Boys t-shirt on? Let's see which one it is.
But with me, I think I confirmed it for her. She's like, if anybody would know, it'd be this guy.
Listen to this. 2013, Mabe created a prank video in which he and several accomplices convinced a mutual friend with a history of multiple DUIs that he had just awoken from a 10-year coma resulting from a drunk driving crash.
Wow.
Have you ever seen the video?
No.
Oh, dude, the guy loses his mind. Like he's blackout drunk. They turn an office into a hospital room, and the guy's blacked out, and they carry him up and they put him in the bed. And then they have actors as like nurses and stuff like that. And they come in and he has kids. Like they're like, you've been out for 10 years. And the guy's like, man, you gotta be kidding me. It's just big old fat redneck guy. What are you talking about? Dude, it was great.
Oh my God. 10-year coma.
Can you imagine? Like you wake up hungover and it's like you've been out for 10 years.
Gosh.
It'd be kind of nice.
Let me share a little Nateland news with you guys. The Nashville Comedy Festival is coming up, Reno. April 8th at the Ryman Auditorium, Nateland presents Good, Clean, Funny with Ryan Hamilton, Dustin Nickerson, Derek Stroop, Lace Larrabee, Mia Jackson, Paula Kaczynski, and special host Aaron Weber.
Atta boy.
Yeah, man. It's going to be fun.
You want to sell an extra 20 tickets? You could put my name on there.
We don't have time for all your credits.
Yeah, I'll be
25 credits and 20. Yeah.
I'll be cleaning up dip cups on a tour bus.
And our buddy Nick Thune has a brand new half-hour special from Nateland called Born Young. It premiered, 2-3 weeks ago?
2-3 weeks ago, dude. It's so funny. Nick's the best. He just did Mark Maron's podcast, I think, came out today or yesterday. So, yeah, dude, go watch it. Go check it out.
And The Consumers with Greg Warren every Tuesday. Don't Make Me Come Back There. Dustin Nickerson every Thursday. Check out those podcasts as well. So let's get into our weekend. I was home for the most part. I did a show in my hometown of Lebanon, Tennessee for the Capitol Theater for an organization called Everyone's Wilson fundraiser show. Met some folks there. It was great. Folks,
was it a fundraiser for?
Met somebody.
Yeah. Is it a fundraiser for Wilson County?
It's
Everyone's Wilson County,
or for the volleyballs,
or for the guy from Home Improvement. What was it?
It's Everyone's Wilson is everyone should be included on prosperity in Wilson County. It's churches that come together to do food drives. And a variety of things. So it's a lot of pastors and businesses that donate and things like that.
It's a good cause. Yeah.
It's a great cause. I complained about so many people moving to Wilson County that I'm starting not everyone's Wilson to counter them.
Yeah.
So
most people are Wilson.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do everything's Rutherford. It's just a bunch of chicken shacks and Applebee's.
Rutherford.
Yeah. Manufactured home.
Doesn't roll off the tongue quite as quick.
It doesn't. Everybody's Rutherford. It doesn't. That's horrible.
And you don't think it's anything else.
No.
You're not like, what, Wilson?
It's so vague though that it just sounds like it's important. Not the Wilson, but Rutherford. Like I know the mayor. He built my house. I could call her and be like, everybody's Rutherford.
Yeah.
What's the name of the show? Everybody's Rutherford.
And everybody from Rutherford's there.
And everybody's there.
Yeah.
And if you're a part of it, you better be there because it's you.
Because you are Rutherford.
You are Rutherford.
Well, how'd the show go, Brian?
Show was great. A lot of fun. The mayor of Wilson County spoke before me, and I know him. I'm friends with him because he was a teacher and a coach at my high school when I was growing up.
Oh, cool.
So it was good to see
Still
him.
alive.
Baseball coach or your coach?
He's not much older than I am.
Your coach?
No, he coached basketball at Lebanon High School.
Okay.
Did you swipe a couple of those things?
I did. I stole a couple of those laundry.
Probably haven't even got to it yet.
Yeah.
But
I thought they were shots.
That's what it looks like. Looks like bourbon. Yeah.
You could just kind of.
Here we go. Back off the wagon,
I know,
fellas.
that's what
Let's get into it.
I hope this is soap.
But anyway, some of the rest of the weekend, my daughter turned 3 this weekend. We had a big birthday party for her. Dusty's kids came, crashed the party.
My wife and kids went. You know what? My wife said when my daughter got in the car, she was like, whew, that was a good birthday party.
Wow.
She texted us that. We love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've changed a little bit. I've even left out birthday. She says that was a good party.
I don't know. Yeah, that could have been it. That could have been what she said.
What'd you do? Did you have a clown or something?
No, just me. But we had bubbles. Bubbles were a big hit. Bubble guns.
Oh, bubble guns.
Both of his kids took home a bubble gun.
That's fun.
I mean, that's like rapid fire. I'm out there with a little wand doing a musket.
You're just getting lit up.
I'm just getting lit up.
AK, yeah.
And then just some pizza and chicken nuggets. And
that's all you need.
His kid ate an apple, but the rest of the kids,
that's right.
had some fun.
That's a good kid.
It's a lot of sugar though.
So
if you ever want to irritate
Good sugar though.
if your kids, like your kids' parents, when my son was like 9 years old, we had a food fight birthday party.
Whoa.
And but the key
So you
to
knew
it is,
going into it?
This was all on purpose.
It was the theme.
The key is the parents are told a time to pick their kid up, and you make sure the food fight ends at that time because I had to spray them all down. But it was they had like scuba masks and snorkel things or whatever, and we set up tables with like spaghetti and pudding and everything's mixed up in these big bowls, and you like just yell go, and they just start wailing on each other, and the kids get just trashed, like there's stuff all over, and then I just hosed them down. And they got in their parents, but kids still talk about that. The only thing I'll tell you is that Walmart Jell-O will stain your driveway. Like there's something in that's not good.
That's
for
good to
our
know,
insides.
honestly.
Yeah, like for your insides, it won't go away for years.
That's-
it look like a rainbow.
Something only a select few people know
Yeah,
is that Walmart Jell-O will stain your driveway.
and I want to get the word out. That's why I'm going to go to everybody's Wilson so that everybody knows.
Everyone's Wilson.
Yeah, everyone's Wilson.
Listen, you be careful with that Jell-O out on the driveway.
Yeah, it'll stain. Dude, you messed me up so bad. I'm sorry if I'm ADDing out and I'm messing this up, but so there is a your bits about the songs. There's a Travis Tritt song that I was listening to when I was coming back from the casino last night, and it's about modern day Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh yeah,
and he says he picks her up in Johnson City, but he's driving up 95 to Richmond. They don't connect. You can't get to 95. From the thing, and I was sitting there going like, I should tell Dusty that.
yeah.
I do that all the time. I'll text him.
Yeah,
Hey, you heard this line?
Yeah.
And it's like it's a long way to Richmond, rolling up on 95.
You're like, you're going the wrong way,
Yeah,
buddy.
you picked her up in Johnson City. You would have had to drive all the way to the coast and then cut up. It would have taken you. There's no reason. Why would you rob cigarettes and have to drive all the way across when you could clearly cut up 6 to 64? And
Trying to cover your tracks, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think Bonnie and Clyde had it all together.
But you don't want to drive in a straight line if you're committing crimes. Right?
But you can't get to it. Like you can't get from. You'd have to take 26. It's irritating to me now, and I never would have even thought about that if I hadn't listened to Dusty's bits.
Well, it's I mean, that's what happens to me too. Now I listen to everything like that.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm like, I enjoy it, but I'm still picking it apart.
Yeah, is that
Just
are those the
picking it
words?
apart?
Yeah. So they get arrested at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But suddenly they're on 95. 95 goes. I don't know why this is.
I mean, that
bothering me.
is up the coast. I mean,
It's straight down the coast.
Yeah.
And he's way over here in Johnson City.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it.
Yeah, you had to cross at least you had to go all the way across North Carolina.
And numerous back roads to cut straight across.
Yeah.
Seems a little wordy, but
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was all in a Firebird.
Yeah. And you'd think, I mean, I know it rhymes, but
Yeah.
fix it. It's like
I
Alan
think there's
Jackson.
a lot of fives, though. I mean, there's plenty of 5 interstates.
Did you ever do a bit about
95, 75,
But
65.
you
No, but
can't
Tennessee
get-
has to rhyme with calling me too.
Yeah. So
it's
he
kinda
skipped
tough.
right over it.
Yeah. It's pretty tough. Writing songs is hard.
It's not
Yeah.
easy.
And Travis Tritt's great.
When Alan Jackson rhymed Tulsa and salsa, I lost my mind. I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not listening to him anymore. And I love Alan Jackson, but as soon as I was like, this is the dumbest. You couldn't, of everybody in Nashville, you couldn't find somebody. You just dropped a load of salsa.
Yeah, it's a lot of salsa.
Who has truck? Have you ever seen a truck full of salsa?
I don't
You
think
got the
so.
song? I love this.
Yeah,
movie.
well, I answered him and he asked me, "Aren't you from out in Tulsa?" No, but you might have seen me there. I just dropped a load of salsa.
This song
That
has
is the worst.
This song
lyric.
has some wilder lyrics than that. though, I'll tell you that.
it sounds like a new comic trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And that's their line.
Oh, wow.
No, but you might have seen me there. I just dropped a load of salsa.
What song is this?
This is where I come from.
Where I come from, yeah.
Yeah, you could just
2000.
pick a different city name and a different thing you
thing you drop off. Chickens or cows or but who delivers salsa?
Is salsa important to the story at all?
No.
Okay.
There's no chips. There's nothing.
Yeah, Pickens. South Carolina, isn't there Pickens? Aren't you from Pickens? No, you might have seen me. I just dropped off a load of chickens.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so much better than Tulsa and salsa.
There's a famous one. T-Pain has a song. He said, "I'll put you in a mansion somewhere in Wisconsin."
They're not even trying. They're not even trying.
At that point, you just lean into it. You're like,
But is he saying Wisconsin like somebody from Wisconsin would say it?
That's what I thought.
Wisconsin. Maybe there's more to it than meets the ear.
Yeah, it's too deep for you, Aaron.
You can't do that. You can't do that. AI. That's why AI is going to take over all songwriting.
T-Pain can sing though too, huh?
Yeah, he's got a good voice. He's a good musician.
What did he put? He put out something that everybody was sharing a while back.
He did a Tiny Desk concert without auto-tune, and everybody's like, oh, he can sing. You can even tell the auto-tune songs. You can tell he can sing a little bit.
What was that? I don't know. He put out, I feel like it was a country song.
He's been messing around with a lot of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of people are taking over country. Finally, we're getting some good musicians in there.
Oh my gosh. I know you're kidding, dude. I know.
No, I'm getting Dusty fired up.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh.
You got an ally at the table.
You
today.
do have an ally. This stuff, it looks like a shampoo commercial. The whole mess of it is garbage. I don't even go downtown Nashville anymore. I don't like rap.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, long gone are the days where we have talking about Tulsa and salsa.
Yeah.
You know, this is a simpler time.
But
Well,
the,
take that out. And then the rest of it.
Yeah, I just watched that Opry 100 special. You did the Opry, right?
I used to.
Well, I said past tense.
Yes, I did, and then I got in trouble. So I'm not on it anymore. I wanted to get T-shirts made up that said like Cash, Williams, Presley, Collier, banned from the Opry.
yeah, you should.
I know. I'm going to.
Yeah.
But I still, in the back of my mind, I still want to do it again. Because it's not the Opry's fault. The Opry's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It was 3 people from New York that all tagged Humana and tagged the Opry and was talking about something that I said. And
I joke?
Killed. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not the Opry's fault.
Yeah.
They have a brand. The Opry's a million times bigger than me. They don't need me. There's no reason for me to even be there. I don't blame them. I'm not mad at them. I freaking love them, and I'd go back on.
They're the best.
Our next sponsor, we love Delete Me. It's our old pal. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. You ever been a part of one of those? I mean, your information is just out there. It got leaked. It's a real violation of your privacy.
I've only been a part of a data breach.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what we're talking about. This is Delete Me. They handle data.
Data
breach. My bad. Yeah, big difference. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from these data broker websites. They know your privacy is worth protecting. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what info you'll want deleted, and their experts take it from there. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me, now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Nate and use promo code Nate at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Nate and enter code Nate at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/Nate, code Nate.
Leanne Morgan was telling me about how you were doing a church and you were freaking out about it.
Yeah.
And she told you just to share your testimony.
Well, yeah.
But I wrote a joke about myself, making up because I was like, I don't have a testimony if I had to go do this. I've never had the drinking problems that weak people have. So
I love it.
I'm not weak like you guys. So I'm like, what can I do?
Oh, yeah. Bully Bates is back.
So I wrote this joke about making up a fake testimony at this church based off her telling me about you. And I've told it twice at the Opry, and the guy who followed me, which is probably the odds aren't that slim, had a real addiction problem and goes out and shares his testimony. You know, the first time I didn't know the guy. He was making his Opry debut, and everyone gave him a standing ovation for it. And then the second time was T. Graham Brown. And
oh my gosh, turn the wine back into water. That's his song.
That was Jesus.
No, I know, but he sings a song where he's praying, asking Jesus, I heard you turn the water into wine.
Wine into water.
Turn the wine back into water.
1998.
That's a song that stuck in my head when I started getting sober. But anyway, tell me again, Mr. Strong Pants, about what you did.
Well, anyway, after
after
the second time of like, it sounds like I'm mocking these guys, that I'm like, I just need to at least stop telling that joke at the Opry.
Where's my phone? I'm going to tag the Opry and Humana and remind them of what Brian.
Tag T. Graham Brown.
Yeah. So you had planned to do this testimony joke, and then this guy went before you.
No, I actually went first,
Oh,
and then
okay.
he goes out after me.
Oh, that's so much worse.
Dude, people are crying when I've seen T. Graham Brown at the Opry, and people cry when he talks about his testimony.
Yeah.
See, that's
Maybe
why
you teed him up.
you
Exactly.
did. You did.
Yeah.
Finally, a guy with some real problems.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It says he got inducted as a member of the Opry in 2024. Was this on the night, his inductee night that you did this?
Brian standing on the side of the stage. We.
Just don't drink. I don't get it. Just don't do it.
Sorry, you just can't have one T. Graham Brown.
Nobody applauds me for being strong.
That's right. I hear you, buddy.
So where were you this weekend?
I was at Harris Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. Yeah, and it was awesome, man. I love that place.
Second straight week we've mentioned Cherokee, North Carolina on this podcast.
He wasn't there doing comedy, just gambling.
No, I was there. Yeah, I was
I mentioned last week I went skiing one time, and I think it was in Cherokee, North Carolina.
It's beautiful, man. Yeah. It's beautiful. And the golf course, Sequoia National, is killer.
Yeah.
And they let you play all day if you do shows up there. So I go up there. And
that's great.
Yeah.
You know, one time when I was still drinking, we were in that part of North Carolina, me and my dad and my stepmom, and I was really like, my dad doesn't really drink, and I really wanted to drink. So I was like, hey, why don't we go check out this casino? I never been in a casino before. And I hadn't. And I was like, I'd like to go in there. And my thought was, I'll go in there and then I'll get a couple of beers while I'm walking around in here. And then there's no alcohol in there. It's totally dry. And the one that I was in was totally dry.
Oh no, this one people were hammered, falling down the escalator. Like
things have changed.
Yeah,
this was probably 15 years ago.
Maybe I remember I snuck my kid.
I couldn't get one.
Are you sure?
I tried.
You don't think they were hiding from you? Or?
I don't know, but
maybe they didn't used to, but they do now, man.
And maybe I'm thinking about a different place.
Maybe they've changed the liquor laws since then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I was pretty disappointed, I'll tell you.
You're just over at the Pepsi thing, filling up your paper cups.
Shaking.
Yeah. I was pretty disappointed.
Do you remember we did Mother's Day at the Harris Casino?
In
Harris, Michigan?
Yeah.
And I saw the Mother's Day buffet at the casino was, just kind of a sad sight.
That's a sad casino.
Yeah, it really
The
was.
Upper Peninsula of Michigan, a casino, Island Resort and Casino. It's a sad spot.
On Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's just doing a Sunday. It's still daylight. There's skylights. It's wide open in there. You can't, you can see the sun rays coming through the smoke in there.
Yeah,
and
oxygen tanks.
Yeah. And then there was a biker gang in there. I don't know if they were a gang, but there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they were heckling us the whole time. And
on Mother's Day.
And no one was doing anything about it. I had to eventually say to the guy, clearly, no one's going to do anything about this.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell a couple of jokes. That's all I want to do.
But the shows were good this weekend?
Yeah, they were great. I sold a ton of books. And I'm not here to plug.
No, but I'd like to hear about the book.
I just want to say, I talked to Adrian before this. It's not, it's like PG-13. I said it all on the radio. It's not for kids that are 10.
Yes.
Right.
Sure.
So here's what it is. It's called Country Fried Takes. It's also got a bunch of recipes in the back, like ribs and steaks and chili and spaghetti sauce. So if you look in it, there's no writing on that side, because when I read a book, I don't like bending it. So I was like, it's my book. I'm just not going to put them in there. And so there's nothing on that side. And then
throughout the whole book.
Yeah, through the whole book.
Nate
Dude,
would love this.
when I'm laying in bed and I gotta go like this to get to it, I'm like, I'm just not gonna have it in there. And then I did the artwork, And the publisher's like, why don't you use AI? And I was like, because I'm not a communist. So then on the back,
I do like that it's rather thin, and
it would have been a pamphlet. It would have been a pamphlet.
I didn't want to say that, but I was,
No, you can say it.
it's only half of that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's still a good book.
Yeah.
The writing's small. And then on the back of it, it looks weird. It says how to kill your best friend. And has nothing to do with the book, but it's so when you lay it on the back of the toilet and your buddy comes over and he's going to the bathroom, he's looking at it going, am I his?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
That's great.
Little giggler in
Little
there.
Tom
for you.
Maid.
That's
there.
fun.
Little prank.
Yep.
And and they are
And you tell all your friends before they go to the bathroom, you go, hey, you're my best friend.
you're my best friend.
Thanks for coming
love
over,
you.
dude. I don't say this
I
a lot,
love
but
you.
you're my best friend in the whole
Yeah.
world.
And these are only $185. So
Get in that bathroom. It only locks from the outside.
it's also weird. This lady told me she was sitting in the airport not thinking about it. So when you hold it like this, it's upside down. And she goes, this guy was sitting across from me going like trying to read it.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So you can get them at renocolliercomedy.com if you want one.
Awesome,
Okay.
man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats
they
on
were
that.
fun, man.
That's
They're
fun.
funny and, blah, blah, blah. Sell a book,
Well, I was up in
Do you sell a lot of books at the shows? Sorry.
Tons.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I probably sold 100 and something and I ran out Friday.
Oh, that's
Wow.
best, dude.
But it's Bob and Tom people that know that like listen to the show. So it's the best ones of the whole year coming up like every Monday or whatever. So it was fun, man. I mean, it's just fun to, be like, I'm an author.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another credit.
Another credit. 700 credits, 250 tickets sold.
Yeah.
He is something else. He was on the Jack Parr show. Can you believe it?
Where were you, Aaron?
I was in Nateland country, Boston, Massachusetts.
All right. How
Right.
was it?
Brian and Dusty were there last weekend, and then I was here this past weekend. So I was in Hartford on Thursday, Boston. Shows are great. 2 of them sold out.
Nice.
right.
Man.
It was just awesome. I had a thing. I was flying from where were we flying to? I was flying from Los Angeles. I was in Los Angeles last week, did some podcasts and stuff. I was flying from LA to Hartford, 5 a.m. flight. And I get there, they're like just about to open the pre-check line. That's how early it is in the morning. So there's 2 lines for
This is the Hartford Airport?
No, this is LAX.
Okay.
Which is just awful. Dude.
Yeah.
Just so bad. I had to return a rental car there. I mean, it was just terrible. But there's 2 lines forming. One is for the general security.
Boarding,
Yeah. And then the other is for the pre-check. And they haven't opened the pre-check line yet, so there's a line forming. So this dude, it's like 4 a.m. This dude walks up, suit on, backpack, and he's like in a hurry in a way that's kind of annoying. Like we all want to get on our flight, dude. And he walks up and he goes, pre-check. And they go, oh yeah, well, general boarding's open, but pre-check's not open yet. And he goes, okay. And then he walks like he's gonna go to general boarding. And then he kind of looks around and then walks over and goes through pre-check.
Wow.
Cuts probably 150 people in
I
the
love
line.
this guy.
Blatantly cuts.
That's how you get ahead in
see
business.
it. We all see it.
That's right.
And I was struck by what a bonding experience it was with these strangers around. We talked about them for probably 20 minutes in line, just making fun of him, laughing at him. And then like, we hope he gets, we hope his flight's delayed and just talking about this
I
guy.
hope his flight's delayed.
Yeah. Or hope like he gets pulled at security or something. I mean,
I hope his flight goes down.
And then he goes to some private lounge and eats caviar and waits for
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
He's
No.
like, who are those people?
Not at 4 a.m.
Loser.
Nah, dude. We won in life in the grand scheme of things, dude. We did it right.
Did you see him in the airport again at all?
I was looking for him
Yeah.
so hard, dude. I wish he was on my flight. I would have said something to him.
You should have cut him
Yeah.
in line.
Would just follow him out.
Yeah, go-
But,
Fly somewhere else just to spite him.
Yeah.
but, yeah.
Go, you here? You in line here getting
The
this food?
only way he could have got up there is because he pretended to be general boarding and
Yeah.
then cut the line.
You don't see people pretend to be general boarding that often.
Mhm.
You know
No.
what I mean?
It's a great
This
move.
guy is a real businessman.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have annoyed me at the time, but I honestly, I might have saw it and go, oh, I could probably do that too.
Things like that used to
Nah.
upset me, but I remember everybody's Wilson. You know what I mean?
Everyone's Wilson.
Everyone's
is.
Wilson. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get it.
Everyone is.
At least one time in our life, we are Wilson.
We are all
You
Wilson.
were Wilson, once or twice. But other than that, I mean, it was just I almost hugged the people I was in line with when we got through security. It was such a bonding experience. So I'm grateful for that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he brought you guys together.
In a weird way, I'm thankful that
He was an angel.
he did what he did. He might have been an angel.
God sent him.
These angels come through every now and then.
Mhm.
They'll do stuff like that.
Mhm.
But other than that,
Yeah.
unbelievable weekend. Had fun in LA, had fun in Hartford, Connecticut, and then Boston was great. And a lot of people said they saw both of y'all last week.
All right.
So people triple dipping in the course of 2 weeks. That's
Did
pretty
they
crazy.
say what show they like the best?
I did ask him, and I'll tell you after we get off.
Okay.
After the podcast.
Okay.
Mhm.
The
Well, they were like, yeah. Then Nate's doing, I don't know, wherever the Celtics play, he's
Right.
doing there. So they're gonna go see that.
doesn't mean it's a better show.
No, and I said, look, Nate's not waiting in the lobby after the show to say hi to you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Neither is Dusty.
accessible.
No, I
yeah, I
didn't
know.
do that.
Yeah,
I gave him a ride home.
Nobody's cutting in front of Nate.
Yeah. That might have been Nate.
That might have been Nate.
Yeah.
You can't tell he wears clothes from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not from around here.
Yeah,
Not from here.
not from around here.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What about you, Dusty?
I went to Texas. I did two. I went to Beaumont,
Sounds right.
Texas, and San Antonio, Texas. Both really great shows. I sent you guys the text. Beaumont, I did an hour, 25 minutes on stage.
Boom. New record.
Yeah. San Antonio, hour 22. But
They got to step it up in San
yeah.
Antonio.
But in Beaumont, it was really great. They both were very great. I don't know if very great is a way you could phrase
You
it.
can
but
say it. Yeah,
very
why
great.
not?
But there were a lot of coughing going on in Beaumont in the audience. And I got a
My
cough.
kind of people.
I got a coughing joke I like to do. And then I referenced Nateland. I said, I do a podcast called Nateland. A lot of people cheered. And then I said, there's a guy on there named Brian Bates, and he coughs a lot. And I always tell him he should smoke because he coughs so much and he doesn't smoke. Smoking might help him.
Mm-hmm. Did that laugh more
No,
than
I
here?
didn't. No. No, about the same. About the same. But I want you to know I'm talking about you.
Well, I appreciate that.
yeah. No, I did.
Some people messaged me.
Yeah, that was the end of the joke. It was trailing off at that point. And,
Yeah.
but I was like, I gotta get back into the act. But
You know, when I mentioned the podcast on stage, I always say, Brian, I don't know if this has gotten back to you yet, but I haven't done it in a while, so I might as well tell you. I do a podcast with Nate Bargatze, who's a famous comedian, and Dusty Slay, who's becoming a famous comedian. Just the three of us hanging out. And dude, and sometimes people will be like, "Oh, come on! Oh, don't do that to Brian." And then they'll come up to me after the show and be like, "Well, that was, I mean, can't believe you did that," you know. But that's how I say it
Oh,
because
well, I
it makes me
appreciate
laugh.
that.
So Dusty's doing the opposite.
and now I think that the 3 minutes that I didn't do in San Antonio was probably the 3 minutes I spent talking about your cough.
I helped you set a record.
Yeah. But they're great. You know what? I love San Antonio, the city.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
great.
very
It's
nice
really
place.
cool. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
It's very great.
It's a smoke-friendly city, too. You can really smoke wherever you want there,
Yep.
which I like.
I was there with Nate in San Antonio, and we were walking downtown San Antonio, and a guy in the park ahead of us, some kids, whatever, pulled a gun out and started shooting just randomly. And, you know, last week on the podcast, all about friendship, Nate said, I'd take a bullet for any of you guys. I can tell you firsthand he wouldn't. He took off running before I even realized what was
He
going
threw
on.
you ahead.
Yeah.
And then ran
He's like,
back
my
up.
life's clearly more important, Brian. Block these bullets.
It really is a nice city.
Yeah.
I didn't experience any of that.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful down by the Riverwalk, and then they were shooting at us.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's good to take your kids.
Everyone- Everyone's San
Alamo
Antonio.
reenactment. Yeah.
There was a homeless guy on, I don't know if he was homeless, but he was
Dirty?
some stuff going on with him. And he goes,
Too much. I'm sorry.
I'm on Riverwalk. He's like, hey, you that, what is it? You that Freebird guy?
The Freebird guy.
And I go, yeah. And he goes, how's that solo go? And I just wanted to be like, I have bad news for you. I don't know if you've been out here since the 70s, but that band's dead.
There was an awful point.
Oh, he thought you were Leonard Skinner.
I guess so.
Yeah, the guy, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
You were the whole band.
Leonard.
It was Cletus T. Judd.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then Nate texted us that he's down to 56 minutes now. So
Yeah.
So you're doing a full 30 minutes.
And I'm doing a
beforehand.
club this weekend, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
Wow.
I asked for some club. I'm doing the Virginia Beach Funny Bone. I asked to do some clubs, and because I'm working on a new hour, so I want to get in there.
That's nice.
And so I don't know if I'll be able to do an hour.
We're going to
25.
find. Speaking of Virginia Beach, I mean, what a segue. Is that why we're doing it?
No, we're doing Virginia. Well, we haven't done the comments.
Oh, sorry, I was pumped.
We were way
I
behind.
was proud of that segue I just pulled together.
I know.
It's just a heavy first part of the podcast. It's very fun.
Let's get started with the comments.
All right, who wants to read them?
Do you want to do it?
I'll read them.
Okay.
All right. Comments come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube,
Yeah, you can if you want.
Apple Podcast reviews. Yeah, chime in whenever you want. Nateland at natebargatze.com. Scott, boy, what do you think?
Nafel.
Nathan.
I think you got to go Knafel.
Mm,
You don't put the K in there like that.
how
on your
many
name.
words do you do the K in the end? Do you say them both like that?
I don't know any.
Knife.
Knife.
Yeah, knife. That's right. I was a PE teacher too.
Yeah.
It's knife.
Knit.
It's Scott's
Scott.
knifel.
Are PE teachers real people?
Yeah, I was one. I'm not.
Were
kidding.
you really a PE teacher?
Oh yeah,
The old look.
yeah, yeah. I used to bartend at the Punchline in Atlanta.
They were like, Miss Collier.
"Yeah, are you the field hockey coach?"
All right, boys, line up. This picture right
Right there. All right, girls, let's play some volleyball.
Did you have a whistle around your neck and everything?
No.
Okay.
No, what I did have was a hangover because I'd bartend at the Punchline at night and then teach during the day, and I'd have to stand outside in Atlanta just sweating booze out, and these kids were like, "You smell like my dad."
You're like Kenny Powers.
I wasn't a good teacher. Dude, here's what happened. I taught for a summer. I happened to walk in and apply for the job the day the other guy got fired. So it was kind of like, okay, just let's go. Can you do summer school? Absolutely. Let's go. So I did one summer, a full year, another summer. School was about to start. I had like 3 weeks booked on the road, making like $175 a week. And I'm like, I'm a comedian. And I ditched my apartment. I go in to tell it was a private school, to tell the headmaster, like I'm out. I'm not going to be there for the next year. And I go in, he's sitting there. I'm not making this up. He's got a paper like this and his glasses are down. And I walk in and I go, "Hey man, I didn't pay attention to like how much time I'm supposed to give you before I bail. Right.
Yeah.
But I just booked 3 weeks on the road like in Ocala, Florida
Yeah.
and in Savannah, Georgia.
Hollywood.
Like I go, I think I'd like to bail on this, man, and give it a shot." And he goes like this. "All right." That was it. I didn't even have to like stay for 2 weeks or anything. Like I must not have been good at all. Like,
Yeah.
because these kids had to go through state. I don't mean to take this thing over. Is it all right?
No, this is
So-
what you're do it.
I didn't.
What are you
these
asking him
kids-
for? He doesn't do anything in this
Well,
podcast.
I'm sorry, Brian. Let me
I
turn.
should be the one running this.
I didn't think when you teach school like that. And I've totally forgot what I was talking about.
I interrupted you.
This is
I'm
why we
sorry.
follow
I
the
interrupted
script.
you.
No, I tried to play it up, and I was going like, just talk long enough, and it'll come back
It'll
to you.
come
And it
back.
just
It
didn't.
never does.
I'm sorry.
But in your
interrupted
head,
you.
you think like,
No.
well, I'm gonna have to when I quit this, I'm gonna have to train the next guy and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I didn't have anything.
And he's like, "Dude, we'll replace you in 20 minutes."
Yeah, like it's better not even to have anybody
Yeah.
than for you to come back. You know what I mean? But the kids, I know what I was gonna say, but the kids had to go through standardized testing to get into the school.
Okay.
So PE, English was a second language for a lot of them, you know,
Okay.
and I'm trying to explain games to them and they're not, and I'm like, just pick that ball up and hit him in the head with it. Like, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, pick it up and hit him.
You saved them from having to get rid of you.
I did. I'm a giver. I thought I was
Yeah.
helping out for the students. I mean, if we're going to take care of these
The
kids.
students were probably into you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they loved me.
Yeah.
And the teacher that had the kids after me hated me because they'd go in there so amped up and, you know, it was fun, man.
Mhm.
But apparently I wasn't very good at it.
I love that.
See what Scott Nafel said.
I'm a middle school PE teacher, and hearing all of Dusty's stories about when he was young and getting kicked out of places, fighting, drinking, smoking, and all of his shenanigans, seeing the way he's turned out does give me hope for some of these kids today.
Well, you don't know him that
Well,
well, Scott.
I'll say this though: a lot of the kids I was hanging out with, they did not turn out the same.
So one of those kids will be all right.
And I did get in trouble a lot in PE. I was yeah. So I was not very athletic, and I was real mouthy. Always been.
Is that why you're mouthy? Because you were frustrated with you weren't.
I don't know. I'm probably just frustrated with a lot.
You think
of
if you were
things.
like the best kickball player in the school, you probably would have had a better attitude.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe you're. I did a lot of Foursquare. Remember that game?
Yeah.
And the ball.
Would you go to school in the 30s?
Yeah.
Foursquare? Yeah, I had a little paddle with a ball at the end of it.
I was ranked in Red Rover in the 11th grade.
Foursquare is crazy.
You remember that game?
Yes, dude.
With the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jax, do you remember Jax? Remember that? I was so good.
I do remember that.
You step on one of those things with no shoes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manny McBride, dairy farmer here. I can confirm
Hey.
that cows are friends. They're very habitual animals, going to the same place to eat every day, lying in the same stall every day, etc., and typically hang out with the same social circle. There's a pecking order in every herd and usually a boss cow who runs the show. Studies like these help us understand how to make life more comfortable for our animals, like reducing stress by putting them in pens with their friends.
Or killing the one that's a bully. You know, it's like picking which ones to kill first.
Hmm.
Right? Oh, these are dairy cows.
Yeah.
That's still. You do what you want.
Still.
If you're hungry, you're hungry. You know what I mean?
You know, that's what my dad always
I
says
got
about,
milk.
about,
These
Eat some
are
meat.
dairy cows. My
about
bad.
Chick-fil-A cows. He's always like, it's dairy cows trying to get you to eat chicken. He's like, they're not even in danger here.
Right.
I've never thought about that.
I met
haven't
the
either.
guy. I met the guy who came up with that advertising campaign.
Or at least he told you he did.
No, well, he worked at the company that did. He was part of the team, and originally they were brown cows, and then they did a bunch of testing, and the black and white just played better.
Yeah.
They just register as cows
Yeah.
more quickly to people. But they did think about that, and most people don't care. But it is funny when those aren't even the cows that were.
Yeah, they're not
eating.
even in
They're not-
danger.
I never thought of that. I always feel so bad for the guy standing out on the side of the road in the cow thing because it's so hot, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you know he's in there like, dude, I should have really paid more attention. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's I would have done that when I was younger, but not wet. Like you'd get irritated and you'd swinging the sign, and people are yelling at you and flicking cigarettes.
And they're already going to Chick-fil-A.
I mean, that's what I do.
Flicking cigarettes at the Chick-fil-A.
You know what I mean?
It's
No,
crazy.
I wouldn't.
God
do it to
bless
the
you, buddy.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do
Try
it.
to ring the eye.
Smoke this cow.
You know, it's a 13-year-old homeschooled kid in there.
Oh my god! Hey, by the way, I do not flick cigarettes at the Chick-fil-A
Yeah,
cow
yeah,
just
yeah.
before anybody.
Yeah, if the
That's the last thing
Have
I
you
need to
ever-
see.
The Opry's
Maybe he
listening.
does, maybe he
Yeah,
doesn't.
the Opry.
Tag Humana.
Have you ever seen one of those and been like, I'm gonna go in because of that? Like a Jiffy Lube, you're like, oh, here's a guy throwing a sign. I need an oil change.
It's always like sometimes it's a guy
I just want to meet.
Like
him.
I'd like to get my taxes done. now.
Yeah.
in taxes.
Statue
it's
of
like,
Liberty.
Who's
Yeah.
doing their taxes on an impulse?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, I might as well pull in and do my taxes real quick.
I got all my W-2s here.
It's like car wash is the only thing that makes sense.
Or
They're all
oil
just
change,
good.
maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, if it's a high effort thing like tax,
You're riding around looking for an oil change. Where's that guy with that sign?
just driving by, passing them. No Jiffy Lube. No Jiffy Lube. The sub guy. Have you ever seen the guy that
Jared?
they make dressed up as a pickle? No, like
that was
there's
funny.
a pickle guy in Murfreesboro.
That's only in
That's
Murfreesboro.
I know. We don't. We're
Everybody's Rutherford.
everybody's Rutherford. That's right.
there's a pickle guy in Murphy.
Yeah.
What is
There's
he?
a Statue of Liberty guy. There's a pickle guy. We have the Chick-fil-A cow
Okay.
guy. We have a lot of sign spinners in Murfreesboro.
What is the pickle guy for? Just
a
like
sub place?
oh, okay.
They intertwine.
Why?
He was a pickle. First, he was a sub, and then I think it's a pickle. It's green. It
Cucumber, maybe? I don't know.
looks- yeah,
No, they put pickles with
Cucumber
sub
doesn't
sandwiches,
sell
though, right?
subs.
But
Yeah.
not a whole
It's
pickle.
a whole pickle. He's
you don't
not
put a whole pickle on a sub.
He's not a
though.
slice.
I thought I meant
hot
like the
dog.
side.
He's not a slice.
He might. It might be a dirty hot dog.
What if it?
Just a gross bratwurst.
He washed it with the wrong stuff and it turned great. That's the nastiest. It's at a gas station. It's a green
That's so
hot dog.
interesting. I don't know if you'd associate a full pickle with a sandwich like that. Yeah, it's interesting.
I've never eaten in there, but I see them and I feel for them. Don't you? I mean, honestly, like,
Are his arms out in it?
yeah.
Okay. At
He
least
has arms, and there's a fake
don't-
face.
you hate to think about him arms.
I don't
in.
feel sorry for him.
You don't?
Why's that?
Nah, he applied for a job, and they
No,
were
I
like,
agree.
Do you want to do the costume? And he's like, yeah, I like the outside.
Yeah, but the pickle, like even a sub, but a pickle.
I feel like you'd rather be in costume than not in costume if you're out on the street.
Is his face visible in it? Like
No.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it's not that bad.
But his arms have green sleeves.
What kind of shoes? Just kind of shoes.
I can't remember his shoes, man.
Take a look next time. I'm
I
curious.
will.
I'm
Yeah.
curious whether it fits the look or not.
Maybe they could be little garlic cloves. Because
Give
you
him
make,
your,
homemade pickles, you put a little garlic clove in.
Yeah. Or you could
His arms are dill.
dill arms.
Yeah.
I can't think of his shoes.
That's probably meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack sponsor. Aaron, you like snacks?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, man.
IQ Bar is the better for you plant proteins,
I don't think
protein-based
it's that
snacks
big of a deal.
made with brain-busting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash. IQ Bar's plant protein bars are. Dusty, do you like plants?
It depends on the plants. But
You
yeah,
like
I
protein?
I like protein. I like plants.
Well, they're packed with high-quality ingredients to help keep you physically and mentally fit. IQ Bar is totally free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners.
I like that. No soy, baby.
Yeah, they offer 9 delicious flavors like mint chocolate chip, banana nut,
That's
and,
fine.
Yeah, the mint chocolate chip is good. I've had it. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
and peanut butter chip. How about that? And more. With over 25,000 5-star reviews and counting. Who's counting at this point? More people than ever are starting their day on the right foot with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees.
Yeah.
What are your top 5 mushroom coffees? Well, we'll find out later. Obviously, these bars taste great, but the real benefit is how they make you feel. When I've got my IQ bars, I feel good after. You can tell. I feel refreshed, no brain fog.
Oh yeah.
It's body boosting, and that's my favorite part. Look at this body. It's boosted, guys. And right now, IQ Bar
Boosted
is offering,
Bates.
that's me. IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 25% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text Nate. I'll give you his phone number. No, wait, to 64,000. Text Nate, N-A-T-E, to 64,000. That's Nate to 64,000. Message and data rates, data may apply. See terms for details. All right, I'm going to skip this next page.
Okay.
Well, just to give us,
Oh, we'll save these comments.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was there one you wanted to?
No, not at all.
All right, Kelly Renee. I'm a recent neuroscience grad. Based on my knowledge of internal processes of brain tissue,
All right.
I do believe that there's more to the effects of Bluetooth headphones on our brain than we know so far. There are at least a couple of ongoing research studies at the moment on this, so all we can do is wait to read about their findings. Dusty, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, seems like we're finding more and more of these people, aren't we? That are on track with what I'm talking about out here.
Yeah.
You got one Bluetooth in here, and then you put the other one in here, and it's communicating with each other. We hope that it's going over the top, but it could just be
Are they
going
communicating with each other, or are they communicating with your phone?
I
Unless your
don't-
phone's in the middle of your
I
head.
don't think the second one, at least on any Bluetooth speakers I've ever had, the second one doesn't work unless you have that first one. The one of them sometimes will work, but the second one.
But it's telling the device to not play it. It's not telling.
I think that second one communicates.
I mean, I'm
with
not
the
saying they're
first
not
one.
communicating, but what you're describing
Kelly
is not
Renee.
that. Well, yeah,
But it's like when you have that. Like for me, I had a set of Bose heads, and I love them. I love them.
Yeah.
You put the right one in, and it works. You can do it by itself. If you put the left one in by itself, it won't work. It needs that one. So I think that one's communicating with the phone. This one's communicating with this one.
And you think it's going straight through your head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started to get vertigo. I haven't really had any problems since I stopped using those headsets. And I love them. I'm not trashing Bose.
Right.
Everybody's doing it. I love those speakers. But I even actually bought Bose wired headphones. I love them. I have many Bose products. Bose is not even a sponsor, but I just want them to know. I love them.
You love Bose.
But I don't like the Bluetooth wireless headphones.
Okay.
You just use them twice and you can't do math anymore.
Yes, exactly.
I got you.
But
He pees his pants every time I turn on the microwave.
Well, I was doing that before. But
Joe McQueen.
but thank you, Kelly.
Dusty, you said your personal best was recently 81 minutes, but my wife and I saw you in Cleveland last year and you did 90. Either way, we're having a good time.
Well, you know what? The Cleveland show, I forget about that because I didn't have my timer set, so I didn't know exactly how long it was. But that Cleveland show was really long, and I had a great time. That Cleveland show was so hot.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite shows I've done in a long time. Super hot.
How about
it was at a
that?
theater and a real sketchy part. Like I even made the
Cleveland?
joke. I go, I'm not that familiar with Cleveland, but this seems like a safe spot here, huh? And everybody laughed. And I go, thanks for risking your lives to be here tonight. But it was great. No, it was really great.
Cleveland's a fun town. It's a
It
good
is.
comedy town.
It's so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good
So
sports
good.
town.
Yeah. So good.
Jenna Obi. It's weird that Dusty's getting any pushback about planting fruit trees.
What is this? Just the Dusty show?
I'm in for it though.
Groceries.
Yeah, I know. This is locked in as you've been in a long time.
I know.
I love me some meat.
Yeah. Listen, that's what our whole profession is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You show me a selfless comedian, and
Dude, I'm gonna start saying what you said. Like I'm doing the clubs, just to work on new material.
yeah, exactly.
Why are you go banana? I'm just here to work on new material.
Well, I want people to know.
For what? For
I
the
don't-
next club I do?
I'm running my hour right now.
I don't want people to think the theaters aren't going well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear
Like,
you.
when people go, I'm running my hour this weekend. It's like, what are you doing? What else?
Yeah,
are
what
you
else
are you
doing?
Running my hour. Yeah, me too.
And I do like the Virginia Beach Funny Bone.
Okay.
It's a good club. Last
It's
time I was
just
there.
below you a little bit.
He's just doing them a favor.
They are so lucky to have you.
Man, it's great to come back into the clubs.
Yeah.
You'll see me in clubs on my way up or my way down.
Yeah.
It's good to be here now. See you in 15 years.
Winter hibernation is over, and it's time for some of that spring cleaning. But when it comes to the scent of your laundry, it shouldn't smell like the same thing you use to disinfect your bathroom. You know what I mean? Enter Laundry Sauce, the premium scented laundry pods that don't just clean your clothes, they elevate them. Say goodbye to that stale, overused detergent scent and hello to luxury cologne quality freshness that lasts. Abby, take it away.
I feel like a woman has to be in here because do y'all do a ton of laundry?
I do it all. Yeah.
You do it all?
I do
Okay,
it all.
we'll check it.
Whoa.
I mean, this stuff.
the box
smells-
alone, you can always tell how good something is.
It's
The
unbelievable.
packaging.
It looks
Yeah.
good enough to eat.
It smells like cologne.
Yeah.
And I love cologne. So it smells like
Wow.
cologne. Y'all were supposed to get samples. I stole all of
Siberian
the samples.
pine.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
amazing.
I don't know
And
if I've ever
it,
smelled like Siberian pine.
Laundry Sauce isn't just about smelling incredible. It's engineered for performance. These highly concentrated pods are packed with the cleaning power of bioenzymes that obliterate stains. I knew that word was going to get me.
Yeah.
Obliterate stains.
it does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
Obliterates them.
You've used this product and you like it. You're like, my clothes smell good.
I had somebody ask me, what laundry detergent do you use?
Your husband
Wow.
washes his clothes in, and then you're like, what's that cologne?
Yeah. 100%.
Look at this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks good. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off your entire order when you use code NATE at laundrysauce.com. That's 20% off your order at laundrysauce.com with promo code NATE. Maybe the best part about Laundry Sauce? They offer a full money-back guarantee.
Wow.
If you don't get better smelling, cleaner laundry, you get a full refund, no questions asked.
That's pretty great.
I'm asking for Aaron to start using this.
Please, Aaron.
For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off your entire order when you use code Nate at laundrysauce.com. That's 20% off your order at laundrysauce.com with promo code Nate. After your purchases, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you, the Nateland podcast. It's time to make Laundry Day the best day of the week.
Groceries are insanely expensive right now. If everyone had a fruit tree, they could eat their own fruit and take care of their families a little better. We trade around my town because it's hard out here right now, and we all know it. If someone is making their own bread, they can trade it for a dozen eggs with their neighbor.
Jenna gets it. This is what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, in the neighborhood that I live in, instead of all these ornamental trees, what if we all had fruit trees? Everybody in the neighborhood just had one fruit tree.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it to Serge as the next comment. I'd like to read what he has to say.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't usually agree with Dusty, and this is no exception. It's my kind of guy, Serge. Planting fruit trees everywhere seems like a great idea to an idiot, except that most fruits, I added that, except that most fruits aren't native to where they're being grown, so it takes a lot of water to raise. They also don't support the local ecosystems like native plants do.
Yeah, well, let's get native fruit trees.
Yeah, but you get monkeys living in there and stuff. It's going to get weird on your neighborhood.
I mean, come on, Serge. Let's get native fruit trees.
What if you live under power lines?
What's a native fruit tree to Tennessee? What could you?
Yeah, I mean, you would have to, I don't
Chick-fil-A.
know, look it up. But yeah,
Steak.
but there's got to be native fruit trees. So we'll get those.
Apple trees would seem like a logical choice.
So look, Tennessee, your options are pawpaws, persimmons, black cherries, and Chickasaw plums.
I've been called all those.
Great. Well, great.
You never know who you'll see at the opera.
Yeah, open for Chickasaw plum this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Who couldn't use some of those?
A pawpaw, also known as the Appalachian banana, it's a large oblong fruit with a pronounced scent. I've never heard of this.
I've never heard of
I've heard of
Pawpaw?
it. Yeah.
I've had a pronounced scent a couple times.
I don't like the words Appalachian banana. There's something wrong fundamentally about that.
Yeah, here they are. Right here. I mean, they don't really look like bananas.
But
They're kind of.
I mean,
They look like Appalachian
the
bananas.
whole point is
Those are cucumbers.
Yeah, I mean, Serge.
I mean, that's the pickle guy outside the gas
That's the pickle
station. He's probably a pawpaw, dude. You don't even know.
Dude, wouldn't it be great if that's what he was and I thought he was a pickle?
He goes, I'm an Appalachian banana. What do you think I am?
Moron.
I'm native to my region.
Chickasaw
Rutherford.
plum. So, Chickasaw
But
plum
yeah, I mean,
sounds-
this is the type of negativity that keeps anything moving forward that's positive.
But
This
you
guy
need.
goes.
Well, this is how life works.
This guy-
Is you need a dreamer like you, and then you need somebody reasonable
common
to pull
sense.
you back a little bit.
So-
you don't agree with that at all? There needs to be a little. There needs to be a guy going, "Hey, I love where your head's at, but let's apply this to reality a little bit."
Yeah, but he's not living in
Because
reality.
if Dusty-
we just found 4 local native
No,
fruit
that's
trees.
not what he's
Pawpaws.
saying. He's saying because if you had your way, every house in Nashville would have orange trees and pear trees
Yeah.
and pineapple trees.
Yeah.
And he's going,
Well, not pine. Obviously, you don't grow things that are not going to produce fruit.
well, that's all he's saying.
No,
you got to
no.
dial it back.
There's plenty of fruit trees that will grow
No.
here and produce
You're out
fruit.
your depth on this one, dude.
There's
I'm going
plen-
with Serge.
There's plenty of fruit trees that will produce fruit. All he's saying is, some of these might need a little more water. But people are watering their lawns.
That's how water shortages start. Like, it's just a little more water.
All the water goes into the gutter. It goes into the thing, and then it goes into a filtration system.
Into
and it
the
gets
thing.
filtered all the way back to you. Again, it's all
There's
recycled.
no such thing as a drought. There's
Only
no such thing as a
in
water
poorly
shortage.
managed places.
Okay.
Well,
there are a lot of poorly managed places, right? So this is what Serge is accounting for.
so
this kind of
you
stuff.
have fruit. Everybody's watering their lawns all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of putting that into lawn, you put it into fruit trees.
Okay, but if you throw up an orange tree in your yard, it's going to mess up the ecosystem of your whole neighborhood.
Monkeys.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
gonna
dude.
get monkeys.
It's going to be a wreck.
Serge doesn't even put his full name on YouTube. He can't. He's a
Well, he's
anonymous.
protecting
I don't
himself.
think he
He's a
has-
surge protector.
He's like Cher.
He's a Serge
For better or worse.
See, that's why I love his tweets.
Yeah.
That's what his tweets are. Just a little thing.
Yeah. Surge protecting the neighborhoods out here,
This is-
protecting the ecosystem.
exactly.
The point is that, yes, I make the statement, but when you're actually going to execute it, yeah, you put more thought into it. You figure out what
That's
plants.
all he's saying.
No, he isn't.
You just don't like the first sentence of his comment, which I don't usually agree with Dusty, and this is no
He
exception.
says, he goes, planting fruit trees everywhere seems like a great idea, except that most fruits aren't native. Okay, well, we're not going to use the ones that aren't native. How about that? This guy,
Well, will you take down all your fruit trees and put up Chickasaw plums?
no.
Well, then you don't even put your money where your mouth is.
I don't. Serge doesn't tell me how to live my life.
His HOA
He
does.
should. I think Serge has his head on his shoulders.
Serge right now is buying grocery store fruit, and he never will have a free piece of fruit.
Dude, Serge is growing Appalachian bananas in his backyard, and I think he's doing the right thing.
Now, Dusty, a lot of people said they have fruit trees, and if you don't pick them, they fall on the ground, and rats and
All
animals. and,
kinds of unspeakable horrors.
Yeah, rats, and so now the owls have food.
Yeah, then you got an owl problem at your neighborhood.
There's no such thing as an owl.
Bats. Not yet, thank God, because people aren't throwing up trees.
And now you have
yet.
owls eating. It's called the ecosystem.
the circle of life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is how like it's us removing all these things that's put us in this spot where we're you know the grocery store controls us. Whatever fruit they have, we don't even know about all these varieties of vegetables and fruits that are out there because we just get what they give us. We get what Kroger gives us. Kroger's like, you heard of tomatoes? Here's a couple of varieties. You like cherries and you like these other.
Well, black cherries are native Tennessee
yeah.
fruits right there. You can
Yeah.
grow some black cherries in your backyard and not disrupt the ecosystem.
Okay, great.
Yeah, go
Let's
ahead
get
and
some
do that.
pawpaws and some black cherries.
And a parrot.
yeah.
What's a persimmon?
That's like
Persimmon.
a little orange
Persimmon.
fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those are really
Oh,
good.
Like a tangerine.
It looks like a tomato trying to be an
It's
orange.
almost like a plum and a peach, I think.
No, they look
Oh
kind
no, that's a different fruit I'm talking
of,
about.
yeah.
The fruit I'm talking about sounds like a dirty fruit. I don't even want to say.
How
it.
well do you know the persimmon? Not good. What kind
It's
of-
pronounced permission.
I'm sorry.
Persimmon. Is it? So it does look like a peach.
It might be the most underrated winter fruit, according to most Europeans. I don't know what when that poll got issued, but
Well, this is because people
what do you
like
think the
Surge.
most underrated fruit is?
People like Surge are like, oh, you can't grow anything there. You can't grow anything there. They're not native there.
Our apple. You could grow apples here.
Totally.
Don't
God.
people grow peaches?
I wouldn't,
Yes.
dude. I wouldn't. I think it'd be bad.
Why?
Just
And
it's gonna
the-
disrupt the
And
ecosystem.
who is these people like? If you don't pick them,
You
pick
gotta
them.
feed the worms.
That's what I'm talking about. Pick them.
Pick the
Eat 'em.
apples when they're ready.
Yeah,
but a lot of
remember
them, they're raw on the vine, you're not going to eat them, so they hit
pick
the
them
ground.
up. Put them in the compost.
We used to eat those little cran apples.
yeah,
They used to fall off the tree. We'd
Oh,
throw it,
yeah.
hit each
crab
other in the head
apples
with
is
them.
what we call them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In West Virginia, they
Real
grew
bitter?
all over the. Yeah, they're super bitter.
yeah, we used to eat those.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, my mom makes a crab apple jam,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
which seems like the worst
No, I bet it's
fruit to
good.
do. It is good though.
Yeah.
A lot of sugar in there.
Sounds like a music festival.
Yeah.
Jer-
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Chickasaw Plum is headlining.
followed by the black cherries.
Yeah.
Jeremy D. Alger? This is the second straight episode where Dusty spoke about having an HOA. I can't believe that he would ever buy property that came with other people able to tell him what to do with it. Does he really have an HOA?
Well, this is what happens when you buy a house and you don't have any guidance. You have no one around you going, hey, you better check to see if there's an HOA.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I'd like to own a house.
Right.
And then I get there and there's some lady going, you got to paint that thing or I'm going to give you a fine.
Now, knowing what you know now, would you have bought a different house because
Yeah, I
of that?
probably would have tried to search out a no HOA thing.
Wow,
But
it's been that much of a
no,
hindrance.
my HOA is actually pretty chill, and I do appreciate it to some degree because they
And you're not the easiest house in the neighborhood, probably.
but I keep it's my backyard that it
Okay.
gets wild. I keep the front yard.
Fruit trees everywhere.
Yeah, but
Is that a pawpaw?
There's a cheetah back there.
but yeah, the
Part of
backyard
the ecosystem, fellas. Part of the
it's
ecosystem.
wild, but the front yard is good, and yeah, I mean they're pretty chill. It's not a big
right.
deal.
How much is it?
I don't know.
Like
How much
one
do
of
you
the
make a year?
$30
How
ones?
much do you make a year before taxes?
No, I think it's well.
I don't have your tax receipts with you.
I don't remember how
There's
much
a
it is.
Statue of Liberty
It's-
guy down the street.
It's not very much, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
they,
I've been to your house. It's you're not in like some staunchy, snotty neighborhood.
no,
It's
yeah.
you pay HOA to pick up your garbage, right?
Oh no, they don't even pick up the garbage. But they, you just pay them. You know, they go around, and if people are not cutting their grass, they'll be like, "Hey, you got to start cutting your grass," kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps things up to a certain standard.
Just
that
peer
I
pressure,
appreciate it.
Peer pressure that you pay for.
Well, they fine you, so it's
Yeah.
more than peer pressure.
And there's also those psychopaths that like see if your garage door's all the way down and all
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
it's not
I
like
hate
that.
those people.
Yeah, it's
I
not
got
like that.
fined because I didn't put my trash can all the way away
Yeah, we have that
behind the
too.
house. I
Yeah.
tucked it around the corner, but they were like, "Well, you can still see it if you're looking for it."
You know the best way to handle that?
What's
Just
that?
throw those in the trash. I do not pay them.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. What are you gonna? What? There's nothing they can do.
Reno, he owes 500 grand.
No.
to the
No, it's not. But it's like $50. You're gonna
If you're
spend,
Humana-
you're gonna spend 10 grand on an attorney to take me to court for
Yeah.
the no.
Makes sense.
But
Make my neighbor clean up his. He has a camper
Yeah.
out there. Fix his. That's in your stupid papers.
But if I sell and buy again, my plan would be to not even live in a neighborhood.
Or a city, just unincorporated.
Yeah, I
plot
mean,
of land.
I will try to buy more land.
Mhm.
You know, like a house with more acreage, and maybe not have, or maybe disappear from society.
I'm kind of in that boat too.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe
I want to
we'll-
move out in the middle where no one
Let's
is.
do a thing together.
I'm in.
Yeah.
My wife, the house. You've been to my house, right?
Yeah, not the new one. I don't think.
Okay, so during COVID, I was working construction and doing anything I could, and I was like, we're gonna move out in the country, out in the middle of nowhere, right? And I'm gonna get some horses. And my wife is like, what are you talking about? She's like, this is gonna end, and you're gonna have to. I'm like, no, we're going out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So she found this house that backs up to an equestrian thing that was left to MTSU and a grant. So there's horses out back, but the houses are way.
Oh, I
too
have been there.
Yeah, you've been
Okay,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So she goes, look, this is how we're going to do this. You're not moving me out in the country with a bunch of chickens so you can go on the road for 3 weeks out of it. We're going to live here. You can look at the horses and stand on the back porch and pretend you're on Yellowstone or whatever you think you're doing. She's like, you'd kill a horse in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
We went to, me and my wife went to Reno's house one time, and our daughter, and my daughter Daisy, my wife Hannah, and Reno, and Reno's like praying before we eat,
Mhm.
and he's like, I just want to thank you for bringing, and he's trying to mention my daughter. And he goes, just want to thank you for bringing beautiful Hannah out to.
Dude, and I didn't even pick up on it. And I kept going. I was like, she's so beautiful and it's so nice that we could be here together. And I'm like, amen. And I look up and Hannah goes, well, thank you, Reno. And my wife is like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she goes, you said Hannah. And I was just, when you go into panic, like, I was like, I thought they were both Hannah. Like, I didn't know what I was supposed to. I'd known her for like 10 years at that point. But something got tweaked in my head. And the baby, I'm like, so beautiful. And, and my wife is like,
And my daughter was very young. She was
baby.
a little baby. Yeah.
yeah.
Hannah's just beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
She's
and
hot.
We're so thankful she could come here and we could finally see her. And Dusty's crying. And I have no idea that I'd done it. Like, I didn't, even after I was done, I didn't understand why I was in trouble immediately.
Yeah.
But Hannah's face, I open my eyes and I look up and she's like, well, thank you,
Thank
Rena.
you. Yeah.
You moron.
I've never had a prayer all about me like that. But it's pretty nice.
It's so creepy and bizarre. Anyway, sorry about that.
Now I have to change my prayers at home. Now they all have to be like that.
Yeah.
She goes, do it like Reno does it. That's right.
Thank you. Every day you brought Hannah into my life.
Oh, here we go again. We're never eating at the Colliers again.
John Dixon. Cozzies is down the road from me, and I wonder if either Dusty and or Aaron had been there. I guess he just knows I hadn't. If so, what was that experience like as that place can be a bit wild?
Matter of fact, me and Aaron have been there together.
Together,
To
yeah.
Cozzies.
That's the only time I've been there.
I've been there several times.
Is that in Ohio?
It's in Newport News, Virginia.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Is it still there?
I think so, yeah.
I think Cozzies is still there. Yeah. What I remember specifically about that weekend was, and everybody at the club was very nice to us. And
I always had a great time.
We had a good time, but the condo, the week before, the comedian that was staying there had died in the condo.
Literally or
literally died on the floor, at the floor of like the bathroom. And
of my side of the condo.
Yeah. He was the headliner that died.
Yeah.
I was in the feature room.
You don't know the pressures of being a headliner.
It's tough, especially at Kazi's.
Yeah, Hannah was there with me. We were,
Oh, she's beautiful.
She really.
So we were the first comics in there after that comic had died. So we lit some candles. We said some prayers. We got a little some spirits out of there.
Yeah, but we have been there.
Yeah,
and
that was good.
I've been there a few times. Jim Seward took me there for the first time.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's I like it.
Dude,
it is rowdy though. It gets wild in there.
I remember Kazi's now. What's the place that's in Ohio? And it may not even be there anymore, but like Red Fox used to perform there. They had like a really crazy green room, but you stay down in a condo by the kitchen.
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about?
no.
It's in northern Ohio. Oh.
I don't know.
Ohio?
It's
Toledo?
weird. It's a really cool. It's not Toledo. It's a really cool. Like they have big seats and leather and.
I mean, Dayton, Ohio had
Wiley's.
Did you stay downstairs?
I never did I only went there for an open mic one time.
Oh, dude,
Was it weird?
and someone died in there too.
Yeah.
But that's what made me think about it. Just to keep that going on a comedy podcast.
Yeah, that happens out here.
The
right.
condo in Wichita had no windows, and it's like you don't think you need a window that bad until you don't have one for like 4 days.
Yeah.
You're like, I'd
And
love
then
a window, dude.
And then you would be there like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then on like Thursday you would go to this barbecue restaurant, and they would give you a bunch of free barbecue. So all the comics would go in there. You get a whole platter of barbecue. Yeah. You eat it, and then you take it back to the condo, and you're all eating this smoked meat all week. All three in this windowless condo,
just steaming up the
All right, we got about 30 minutes left.
Let's get into it. That's all we need for this state, huh?
Yeah, Reno, I always associated you with West Virginia. You look like a guy who's from West Virginia.
Yes, I am. Well, my entire family is. I lived in Virginia more, though.
I texted Reno and said, hey, let's talk about West Virginia. He's like, well, can we talk about Virginia?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like,
Dang.
West Virginia, I call home.
That's gotta hurt.
No, it's good.
It's gotta hurt West Virginia, though.
Yeah.
No, it's my home. I love West
West
Virginia.
Virginia's great.
I just lived there.
We like places like that on this podcast.
Like West.
Like we don't look down on places and go, can we talk about something more
Why
flashy?
don't you pull up the list of people from West Virginia?
Are you top of the list?
I don't know if I'm still on it or not. I was for a while. Dude, that is my home. But I lived in Virginia longer.
When did you live in Virginia? What ages?
So I was little. The thing was, I went to a military school for high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't live at home. I was in Waynesboro, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Then before that, I lived in Woodbridge, Virginia and Centerville, Virginia. Yeah.
So
Jimbo Fisher, too.
About 10 years?
Yeah, you're not on here anymore, man.
They took me off.
After what happened at the Opry.
That's it.
No,
Did
hold
they
on.
take me off?
They heard
Hold
about
on.
this podcast. And he's
Oh,
like,
man.
this guy's claiming Virginia now.
Right. Reno, you're on athletes.
Yeah,
Which
man.
honestly, I should be on there too.
Yeah.
You were a PE teacher.
I was.
Yeah.
I played baseball for about 6 weeks. In
You're not
college.
under frontiersman. Maybe literature and art.
Morgan.
All right, let's not.
He is an
Art
author.
author now.
By the way,
yeah,
Country Fried Takes is for sale. Literature and art.
Military. You did some military.
That was in high school.
But I did
religion,
a search.
Politics.
It's
You've
not
argued
on
with a guy in a parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
See if it. They might have taken me off.
This week we're talking about Virginia.
Who gained celebrity from
It's a little reductive. I'm
Fishburne
sorry.
Military School.
Great
That's right.
state. That's
Yeah,
where
it's
I'm
a great
going.
state.
I'm going to Virginia Beach
Yeah,
this
there
week.
you
I
go.
love the state.
Yeah.
Love it. Although it's like 3 different states now.
Yeah.
Like Northern Virginia is nothing like Southwest Virginia is nothing like the East Coast of Virginia. Like it used to, when I was younger, felt Southern.
Yeah.
And now it's, I don't know.
Actually, the first time I went to Virginia, I ordered a sweet tea at a place, and they got real snooty with me. And it was in Norfolk, and they were like, we have tea and we can bring you sugar.
Yeah, which is
somehow
stupid.
is not the same.
No.
Well, it's not because you can't get it to do anything.
But it's just so weird to act snooty about that. It's like, oh, okay, so you do have the capability to make tea sweet, and you're just
doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
What happened to Virginia was there's so many military bases and there's people coming from all different areas. Then in Northern Virginia, you have the entire government and military that's based out of DC. No one lives in DC, so they're either in Maryland or Virginia. So that kind of branches out, and it took the culture of Virginia and turned it into more of an international type of place.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you go to Southern Virginia, and it's like, it's so good to see you. Thank God
yes.
you're here, and I appreciate everything about you. Would you like a persimmon?
or a
Or
pawpaw.
a monkey and a banana?
It was named after Queen Elizabeth I of England, who was called the Virgin Queen.
Oh,
West Virginia was named after her more promiscuous cousin.
You had to say cousin, didn't you?
Who got around a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where, next to maybe Massachusetts, Virginia has probably maybe more history than
Dude, it's all over.
Yeah.
Civil
U.S.
War.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Civil War. I mean, the capital of the Confederacy was in Richmond.
Richmond.
That's
Not
why you lived there,
originally.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I
Yeah.
lived there. You're talking about the War of Northern Aggression?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I understand. No, it was, and people don't realize that. That's what I mean by the infiltration of like people from all over the country and the world that's moved there. Richmond was a purely Southern town, and now it's not at all. Like and the universities and the younger people.
I do a club in Short Pump, Virginia.
Dude, I love that Funny Bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go there when I'm working on my hour.
When he wants to run his hour, that's where he goes.
Yeah.
That's where I go to work out new stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like
I
that.
do like a
No.
2-hour show. How long is yours?
I mean, the Jamestown colony, the first
Yes.
British.
Is that the Jamestown Ferry?
I don't know.
You know the song? It's just called the Jamestown Ferry. Charlie Crockett has a great
You get
version.
there
of
going
that.
up
I love
I-95.
Charlie Crockett.
Yeah.
Tanya Tucker. He
Take
just called the
I-95 through
Jamestown Ferry. It's a
Team
hot day
Richmond.
in January.
Yeah, he took I-95 to Richmond,
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde.
yeah.
Yeah, but he couldn't get there.
Well, anyway, Jamestown was the first English settlement, 1607. We just talked about a couple weeks ago the whole Pocahontas, John Smith story, which
Yeah.
is probably not true, but that's all came from Jamestown. It's called the Mother of Presidents, Virginia.
Yeah.
8 presidents have come from Virginia.
Is that the most of any other state?
Yeah. Including 4 out of the first 5.
I got a
Oh,
relative
dang.
way back on my mom's side. There's a place called Hume, Virginia,
Yeah.
and my mom's maiden name is Hume. And one of my great grandfathers that ever taught George Washington how to survey.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I thought you would say surf. It was going to sound way
Yeah,
cool.
surf in Virginia Beach in Kazi's. he was the first feature there, and he did this weird thing with his teeth. They were wooden, and he
Yeah.
did this David Letterman. It was weird.
But yeah,
I'm getting dizzy.
George headphones.
George Washington,
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
There's George right there. James Monroe, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, Zachary Taylor, and Woodrow Wilson.
Okay. But then it's been about 110 years or so, and not a single one from Virginia, huh?
Yep.
Virginia really fell off.
Yep.
Dry spell.
Dry
Dry
spell.
spell. It'll come back.
Yep.
They'll come back.
John Tyler was born in the late 1700s, president, I think early 1800s, and he still has a grandson alive.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Grandson?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No way, dude. Like,
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
like one generation down.
well, do you know what grandkids are?
That would be
I know what they are, but I also know what the 1700s are, and it's like mathematically, was he 140?
He was really old when he had his child. I guess his child was really old when he had his child, and now his child is like grandchild is like 90-something years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's 96. Harrison Ruffin Tyler. He's born in 1928.
How old was his dad?
That's a good
He
question.
had to have been 100.
Yeah, he'd have been pretty old, dude. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
have it
They
on
used to
here.
party back then, man.
You know, my grandfather was born in 1900, and I have a younger sister that was born in 2000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of math going on here.
Yeah, so 100 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100-year difference.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I had a grandfather that was born in 1902.
He beat
Yeah.
you by 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm just even thinking about the 1900s.
I know.
Like it sounds like the 1800s used to when you were in school. Like, God, that was a long time ago. My kids are like, yeah, he's from the 1900s. I'm like, don't say that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Ugh.
You and I are the same age, I think.
54?
Oh, I thought you meant 1954.
No. Yeah, I'm 76. How old are you?
No, I'm.
By the way, I've gone to the bathroom 3 times since we've been sitting here. Are you allowed to say that?
I am 53. I'll be 54 later this year.
All right. How old's your kid?
3.
3. Yeah, you're going to be like that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There you go. Brian Bates has a living grandson right now.
Brian Bates.
Remember that guy from that podcast? Yeah, he has a.
The guy from Nateland?
He's 106 and he just had a baby. Who was that guy, Tony Randall?
I don't know.
Yeah, Tony Rand.
Yeah, he was doing that, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well,
But he
Robert
was
De
like
Niro's doing
80.
it now.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro's got a 2-year-old.
Yeah. That's why he has those lifts on his shoes.
I did see that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did that not just that ruined Goodfellas
Yeah.
for me?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I was thinking about that. Like sometimes the legends, it is, I mean, you know, it's sad when people die, but sometimes it's like if they just fade away,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to die, but retire and move on. It's better. You remember them in a better time.
There is not one human being that can look right with like 4-foot blocks on the or 4-inch blocks on the bottom of their shoes.
Yeah.
Like unless you're 10 feet tall, there's no good look
Yeah.
for that. And when I saw those on the bottom of his feet, it really did ruin movies for me. Like,
Yeah.
so the whole time he's more like Joe Pesci. I thought he was like 6'2" or something.
I haven't seen what you're talking about.
I never took him for a tall guy.
No,
but,
just average height.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro wears these things on the bottom of his shoes to make him look taller.
Huh.
They're like
Yeah,
heavy.
so they can be eye level in scenes and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he does it just like going to the grocery store. I think it was for a movie and they
Yeah.
caught a picture of him, but it
Yeah.
just threw me.
Tony Randall got married first in 1938.
Yeah.
And then she passed away, and then he had another. He got married again. He had a kid in 1998.
yeah.
He had a kid 60 years after his first marriage.
When was he born?
He was born in 1920, so he was 18 when he got married first, and then he had a kid at 78.
Wow.
78.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Mm.
Good for
Yeah.
him. God bless him.
How old was his wife?
25.
That's an odd couple.
I guess his kid can't expect.
Boom.
Good.
Boom.
Yeah, 2 old guys got that reference.
Some old man's listening to this. His kid's listening to it, and the old man just popped up and goes, "Got that one."
Jack Klugman.
Yeah, Jack Klugman. Dusty doesn't know what we're talking about.
Nah.
The Odd Couple.
I've heard it.
It was a TV. I've heard it. It was a TV show
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever watch Nick at Night?
Yeah.
TV Land, anything like that?
You ever up at 2 o'clock in the morning with nothing to do?
Jack Klugman went on to play Quincy.
I loved Quincy.
Yeah. All right.
Still nothing.
And I've heard of Quincy too. Remember Quincy's, the steakhouse?
I do.
Different
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
As far as we know, we're not sure.
John Quincy Adams.
Yeah.
Bring you back to the presidents.
Boom. Good job,
Nice
Aaron.
job.
That's
Thanks.
pretty good.
That was good.
All right. Do you guys know the phrase "Give me liberty or give me death"?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It was by Patrick Henry. 250 years ago yesterday was the anniversary
Wow.
of that.
I was going to say today, but I guess I was.
I support it. I'm still a fan of that quote. I support it.
Me too.
That was all about the Revolutionary War, Virginia getting involved. Boston or Massachusetts was like, these dudes are riling us up.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go.
Yep.
Yep. I've got all this historical stuff. Let's get to the good stuff. Smithville ham.
Love it. Virginia has killer ham. I'm not kidding.
Sometimes it's just called Virginia ham. It says.
It is Virginia ham. It's real salty.
What's different about it? What
It's-
do
it's
you
really-
do that we can't do in Tennessee?
It's the way it's cured. You can do it here.
Well, why
It's
don't
just
we?
salt. Well, you're just not.
It's got to be in the ecosystem.
You don't think it through, man.
Yeah,
gotta-
talk to Serge
It's
about
got to be
it.
native to your state.
Virginia's been doing that forever. Virginia's known for ham.
I don't think it is, man.
Oh.
I've never heard that in my
When
life.
I
You've
think of
never heard of
Virginia, I think
Virginia
of
ham?
Never heard of Virginia ham, dude. I've heard
Smithville
of
ham?
Virginia Slims.
Honestly,
That's about
Virginia
it.
Slim. Well, that was there too.
That's
Winston Salem was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they were all around. Marlboro was in Maryland. I don't think so. There is an Upper Marlboro, Maryland, but Newport, California. I don't know.
I thought there's a new
Skull. Copenhagen,
Grizzlies in Alaska. Yeah.
Zen is in LA.
What about Kodiak?
Alaska.
Yeah. Alaska's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
tobacco.
on, keep going. What's the next one?
Tobacco is.
Parliament,
Yeah.
DC.
Black and mild.
Yep.
I have no idea what you guys talking about.
Yeah.
Paw.
Cigarettes and tobacco.
Oh, again, I'm strong, so
Yeah.
I don't need these vices
You
to
don't
lean
need
on.
You just have
stimulants.
TB.
That is true. That is true. Anyway, tobacco is one of the big products in.
Yep.
And
Going back to the 1700s.
John Rolfe, who ended up marrying Pocahontas.
He also invented throwing up. Sorry. They're not all good. But they all come out.
The Native Americans were growing a type of tobacco that was very harsh. This was sweeter, I think, more enjoyable. So it kind of took off. So that's why Virginia is one of the big tobacco producers.
Where did that tobacco come from?
South America. He
Okay.
brought it up from South America.
Okay.
Is that where it started? And then
I
because
think
there was tobacco fields everywhere in Virginia.
Yeah.
So the Europeans that came to America, they were introduced to tobacco here. They didn't grow tobacco in England.
I don't
back
think
in
so.
The day?
I don't think so. I think their ecosystem
I think
couldn't handle it.
There is something to, growing something
They smoke
in
everything.
the right, in the right area.
Okay.
It's got to be.
Smoked ham? in
Smoked
Virginia?
ham.
Virginia ham.
That guy Anthony Clark used to do a joke about he was from Gladys, Virginia, and he goes, "I was with." Oh, never mind. Sorry,
Can't say it.
I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Somebody smoked a ham after. So, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Virginia Slims.
This has turned out like the Opry. I'll never be back.
Wait till they tag the sponsors.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Mountain Dew. That was an old sponsor of ours. It started in Virginia,
Yep.
Wow. How about
in the
that?
mountains of West Virginia. Yeah. But anyway, Virginia Slims, I was going to say, there was a TV ad on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, people smoking, and then quickly they made a law that you can't smoke. You can't do cigarette commercials on television.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny used to smoke during the show.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I
to
love
think
those
about.
old things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a chill show.
Yeah, they were really having fun,
Yeah.
drinking and smoking.
A cigar might be more the vibe that you want, though.
But Chappelle does the cigarettes on stage, and it seems chill.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess so. But I still think of like a frantic energy with a cigarette.
Yeah.
but they didn't used to smoke them like that. Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, and my grandparents and everything, you'd see a cigarette and there'd be an ash 3 or 4
Oh,
inches
yeah.
long. They'd light it and
Oh,
smoke
yeah.
it a little bit.
Because they're
lay it
just going to
down.
light another one as soon as that
Yeah.
one's done.
My
Yeah.
grandpa
Yeah.
used to fall asleep with them in his mouth, and he'd like come out of a dead sleep when the hot coal hit and burned through his
Oh,
shirt.
I think a lot of
That
people
kind
died that way. A lot of people died.
You ever see
from
the
that.
any of those Tom Waits interviews from back in the day
Yeah.
where he'd be smiling? Those are really entertaining.
Mhm.
sucking down lung darts.
Yeah.
Lawn darts.
Have you ever told anyone Virginia's for lovers?
That's on bumper stickers all over the place.
You've heard that, right?
Yeah, it was on
I had
the
a joke
license plate, right?
When I was in DC, I made a joke about that, and I say, you read that sign, and I don't remember the joke, but in the S for lovers is where you put the heart. But we've not all decided that the heart means V.
Right.
What if it's an S?
but I think it kind of looks like a V.
Virginia's
is.
for.
It kind of looks like a
But
V.
what if it was an S?
Losers.
Well, then,
Losers?
They
Yeah.
would have put it.
Virginia is for losers.
There's a V right
They
there.
used to say Virginia is for lovers and DC is for bullets.
But there's
Yeah,
two
but
other
there's a V-
S.
there's
There's
a
two
V
other
right-
S's on
There's
here
a V
too.
right here, though,
But there's two other S's, so it can't be an S.
but it can't be a V.
Well, then what do you want it to be?
I'm just saying the joke, and people liked it when I was there.
And then you said, Brian Bates needs to smoke.
Yeah, yeah, people like the joke. I forget it. It's been a while. But,
I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, it's one of the most popular tourist campaigns ever.
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
put a heart in Virginia too if you're going to do that. If it's going to
Exactly.
be a V.
That's what I'm saying. You set a standard. That's the key, and then you go. Virginia's for what?
It is. That's kind of irritating
Yeah.
now. It's only the one.
Virginia is the most populated state in the country that doesn't have a pro sports team, major league sports
Yeah.
team at least.
Not
Yeah,
one, huh?
Aaron disagrees.
Well, I mean, DC's kind of up there, right? For a lot of it.
Yep.
So,
But that's what everybody is. They're either like DC
Or Baltimore.
Yeah.
Sorry, I burped into the mic.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I hold them back.
it happens. It happens, man.
Virginia's basketball team was the first number 1 seed to ever lose to a 16 seed in March Madness.
What year was that?
Not like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the next season they won the whole thing.
Have you been to the University of Virginia campus?
Yep.
A lot of like, it's cool because Thomas Jefferson designed a lot of it, but a lot of like secret society stuff going on.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
lawn, that area where like my cousin went there and she's super smart and she lived there. And
I'm surprised you're into the secret society stuff, Aaron.
Hey, you want to hear something cool? I saw a UFO by UVA.
Oh, yeah?
Not even kidding.
You got a video?
We were leaving a UVA football game, going to my buddy Zach's house. We're driving by and there's a field.
Were you drunk?
Brian, lest ye judge, lest ye be judged.
Yeah.
Or
I just
whatever
want to know
that is.
going into the story. All right, go
You
ahead.
know
I'm
what I'm
sorry.
talking about. Let's not
Let's judge be you.
Let ye be judgeth through thee judge. We were driving back from the game, and my buddy Zach goes, "Dude, what it?" And we look up, and there's a green light in the air over this huge field. He lived way out in the country over this huge field. He pulls his car over. We look, and that quick, it was like, and was gone. Then there's a whole bunch of military.
It
bases.
went away, or you saw it kind of dart?
I saw it dart, and it disappeared.
Whoa.
And it freaked
Yeah.
us out. We sat there for like 15 minutes. Like, are we losing? Like, did that? We all saw that, right?
Mhm.
Like, it was creepy. I don't care what anybody says. They're out there
Yeah.
and they're coming for us. We need to get ready.
Aaron Rodgers
let's
saw
build up.
one. Did you know that?
I'm
Did he?
sure he did. I guarantee he did.
William and Mary is the second oldest college in the
Oh, I
nation.
did comedy once at William and Mary, way back
Did you?
at a like a fraternity thing.
Oh, there you go.
My buddy Evan Burke was
He went to go to school there?
he had a connection there
Oh, okay.
through his fraternity, and we went up. I'd never done a road gig. I think that was my first road gig. William and Mary College.
Dude, when I was in military high school, on weekends, we could get away, and it was right by the whole Charlottesville, that entire area.
Mhm.
And we would go. There was a girls' school, and William and Mary also. We'd go, and we were in our military school uniforms, and they all thought we went to VMI, which was college. So we'd hook up with these girls, but I like have acne and braces, and I'm like, I love VMI. You know what I mean? It was.
You did that
pretty
too,
cool.
right? With Auburn?
At Auburn?
Yeah, it didn't go as well for me. I don't think. But
He tried.
I would do that. Yeah.
He tried.
What would
Because
you
I
do?
grew up next to Opelika, right? Or I grew up in Opelika next to Auburn. So yeah, I mean, so you go to Auburn just to parties, and you just be like, yeah, I go here.
Yeah.
But then it falls apart pretty quick because I don't know anything.
The uniform was the selling point for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Because nobody can tell the difference between a college and a high school military. No one
Right.
dresses up like that. I mean, you'd have to really be in the game to go buy all that stuff and not even go to a military school. It'd be a bit much.
Yeah.
The wool pants burn off your hair. Leg. It's not-
Some famous people from Virginia, Reno Collier. We already
Yes,
covered that.
we already know that. Thank
Sandra Bullock, Chris Pratt, Rob Lowe, Jason Sudeikis. Vince McMahon graduated from Fishburne Military
you. He
School.
went to my
Baseball
military
player.
school.
Did he really?
Reno, come on. Don't try to take
Oh, I'm
credit.
sorry.
No, I'm joking.
No, he really did.
I put that on there because I knew you went there.
Yeah. No, he really did go there.
I know you really did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I saw your Wikipedia page, and then I looked up Fishburne Military, and they said Vince McMahon went there.
Yeah, he did. And then I watched, my wife went with me to an alumni weekend, and everybody's either dead or in AA and NA. Like we were a mess of guys.
It's a fun reunion.
Yeah, it's great. It's unbelievable. And we're driving back. My wife goes, you know what? I always thought there was just one of you, but there's a whole bunch of you, right?
Just churning you out.
Yeah. And then it's a bunch of derelicts. Then we watched the Vince McMahon documentary on there, and my wife's sitting there going, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. He was real jacked up.
Yeah.
Hey, for people watching, I know I saw you do some like testimony stuff on a set one night. Where could they find that if people wanted to go watch you talk about that stuff?
My testimony?
Yeah, just getting sober and stuff. I mean, we make a lot of jokes, but there are people that listen that are struggling with alcohol, and it's like they may want.
Do we have just a couple minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or just where they could.
They can watch it in about 15 minutes, I think, when I go out there. 'Cause I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I've started doing that
But like, do you have a spot where it's at online where
No.
people
You
can?
go to RenoCollierComedy.com.
Well, we'll
buy
record
a
it tonight.
ticket.
Yeah, you know what? If we're gonna then I'll do it. It's all God.
Yeah.
It's all God. And I was a train wreck, and I let it go way too long, and I don't care if people think I'm nuts. You know Keith Alberstadt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Nope.
right, so Keith and I years ago were working up in South Bend, Indiana, and I was like 25 or 26 years old. And we're walking around, and there was a huge cathedral church at Notre Dame,
The Basilica.
the Basilica.
Yeah.
Oh, you're about to offend Aaron. I bet.
So I
No,
go,
he's told me this story.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go in there, right? And Keith's still walking around. I go in, and I'm like, I haven't prayed in forever. So I go over and I get in a kneeler, and there may have been 2 other people. There's nobody in there. I get down on a kneeler, and I just close my eyes, and before I say anything, I have this overwhelming like this feeling. I don't care if people think I'm crazy. I know what happened. And I had this overwhelming feeling of, Reno, you've got to stop drinking. You're going to destroy yourself, right? And I got goosebumps right now talking about it. And it wigged me out, man. Like I was sitting there, and by the time I got from the kneeler to the back of the church, I'd convinced myself that I was crazy. It was drugs and alcohol, and this didn't really happen. And it was all this and that. And I was drinking 2 hours later. Guess what? 25 years ago, after not listening to God, I ended up in hell. And it was all my own doing. And, you know, people can say whatever they want about it. And I'm unapologetic about it now. I will talk about Jesus to anybody, anytime. I feel like this. If I find something that saved my life, it would be pretty selfish for me not to share it with somebody else, and it might help them out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not to mention the fact I want to get up to heaven and have Jesus go, hey, dude, first 45 years were a dumpster fire, but I love what you did at the end.
Yeah.
Turned it
Sneak in
around.
a little
Turned it
treat.
around.
Yeah.
So if
Well, I'm the same way. I like to joke about it. I love to joke about this stuff, but I don't do these things anymore. And it's like, yeah, and my life is so much better that I don't.
100%,
My life immediately got better when I quit drinking.
In my adult life, I don't have a lot of money. I have never been happier in my life than I am right this moment.
Yeah.
Like I never have.
Yeah.
I chased fame and all that stuff, and it was empty for me. I know a lot of people.
And then if the
can
show
do it
doesn't
right.
go well, you go, oh, I'm sad again.
Well, no, I really don't care.
No,
It's-
that's how comedy is, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, in your shows, but not mine. I always kill. But tonight I'll just be working on my hour. I hope everybody enjoys it. Dude, I can't tell you how much I love being with you guys.
Yeah,
I haven't
this is
seen
fun,
you
man.
in
It's
so
fun.
long.
I know.
All
For
three
a
of
long
you.
time.
It's been a while,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's fun, man.
Anyway,
I'm not working on my hour, by the way. I'm building a new one now, guys.
Building's a nice word. For the theaters.
I didn't hear the last few things you said, but Dollar Tree is based in Virginia.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry, Brian. I was talking about our Lord and Savior. Go ahead.
All right. All right. Let's see. Now we promote our upcoming shows.
Yeah.
So April 5th, I'm in Columbia, Tennessee at the Packard Playhouse. April 11th and 12th, Detroit House of Comedy.
Nice.
April 26th, West Bend, Wisconsin at the Bend Theater. I'm a theater comic now.
Right
on. So anyway, yeah, those are some of the upcoming dates.
Cool. I'm going to be at the Boston Garden. If you really want to see where I am, just go to larrythecableguy.com.
Oh, come on. Come
Honestly,
on.
we're going. No, I'm not kidding. Like I finished up. I did a bunch of shows in Michigan and all that stuff. I'm going. I haven't been out with him in like a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
and I can't freaking wait.
Oh,
man.
it's gonna be
like a
the best,
reunion
right?
type thing.
I want to hang with you guys.
Dude, anytime. I'll tell you. I just want to tell you one more thing, real quick. Can I say this real
Yeah,
quick?
of course.
So we were talking about sobriety. Here's something that stuck in my
Oh,
head,
here we
and
go.
here's the type of dude that he is. Cable Guy and I were on a flight one night, coming back from a show, and I was hammered drunk. And we're sitting there, and he's paying for the jet. It's his thing, and he looks at me and he goes, "Dude, are you having fun?" And I go, "Yeah, man. Are you kidding me?" He goes, "Good." Because all these towns we go to that you get hammered with all these people, they don't care about you at all. And when you're dying, it's going to be me, my wife, and your mom and your kids watching you die. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that's stuck because I was. The doctor.
You want to
said
tell us how much you appreciate that he said that. He
Yes.
didn't say that to you.
No, he said that to me.
He said, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that.
Yeah, he was obviously joking.
Okay.
No, he was kidding, but that stuck in my head.
Yeah.
So like we've been through this weird relationship through the years. Like we competed forever, and I'm like, dude, you won. I'm on your bus. You won, but we still compete and everything.
Yeah.
But going back on the road with him, it's not just laughing. It's not just goofing off. I love him. I love his family. I love how he is and what he does.
He's a great guy. I only
He's a
met him once, but he's a great guy.
Phenomenal dude. Yeah.
I met him once. I thought.
You did.
Yeah.
That was cool. Dude, I love him.
I met him one time and we did a show together, and then we had a cigar after, and it was like talking to someone I had known forever. I mean, he's such a genuine guy.
Get into the Bible with him.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Oh, I wish I was there for that. That would have been good.
NIV or what?
Of course
The
not.
correct one?
Come on. Come on.
Where you got? What do you got? You got all the
Yeah, we're going to Spartanburg, Wilmington. I don't know.
Kazi's?
Not Kazi's. I only do big places when I'm with other people.
Yeah.
We're going all over, man. If you go to RenoCollierComedy.com and you want to get this book, but if you don't, the whole schedule's on there, and I'd love to see you come out and say hi.
Yeah, man. This weekend, Aaron Weber here. This weekend, I'm in Chicago, Illinois at Zany's Chicago.
All right.
5 shows. It looks like I think they're all gonna sell out. So just go grab tickets while you can. Come see me at Zany's. Then I got a bunch of stuff coming up summer and the fall. One I'll plug right now since we mentioned it. South Bend, Indiana. For the first time since I opened for Dusty there, I will be doing stand-up comedy in South Bend, Indiana.
All right.
At the
Love
end of May. Something of a homecoming show for me. So I hope if you live in the area, South Bend, Indiana, coming out and see me at the end of May.
I hope Concrete comes to see you.
I would like.
You remember that guy?
Yeah, we had a guy fresh out of prison named Concrete.
Yeah.
What a great
He
name.
sat in the front row of the show, and then at one point he got up and left. And Dusty goes, "Concrete, we need you. You're the foundation of the show."
One of my proudest lines.
Yeah,
That's a
it
great
was great.
line.
It didn't get what it deserved.
No, but it was a good line. This weekend, I'm in Virginia Beach
Boom.
at the Funny Bone because I want to be there. I enjoy the club, and then next weekend I'm going to do 2 shows at the Opry. I'm going to do.
Are you really?
I am.
That's great. You going to visit my parents
Yes.
too?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to dig me for?
This has been great.
Oh, I love
I've had a
it,
ton
man.
of fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
seeing you guys.
Good
Yeah,
to see
sorry,
you,
my
Reno.
palms are sweaty. I got a pee so bad.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. That is it. It was a lot of fun, Reno. Thank you
Dude,
again.
thank you, Brian. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
man.
Anything else?
No, I want to hear you sign out.
All right. We love you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.